What is everybody? How is everyone doing? Welcome to today's stream. We've got a good one for you guys today. We got some more WCL Champions preseason wars. We've got some fun stuff for you today. We are live with Clash with Style as well. We're going to cover these awesome wars today. We're going to look at some awesome Town Hall 13 hits here. Excited, looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, let's go.
All right,
Quite
let's
pumped
go
for this.
ahead.
First time featuring over on your stream, eh?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Clash with Style, another fantastic content creator. If you guys are not already following him, you're probably living under some kind of a rock. Go drop him a follow, give him some love. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump over to the war streams here. So now we're at the 50-minute mark at the moment, and the attacks will not start rolling in until about 40 minutes. So we've got a bit of time to talk about these wars in both of these clans to get involved. So this is the WCL preseason for the Champions League, the new 5v5 all Town Hall 13 esports style wars. We've got a $300 prize pool for this tournament as well. It's going to be some exciting action.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to streaming some of these because WCL, obviously, before it's mainly the kind of longer wars we're seeing, whereas the meta and stuff is kind of pushing more towards these short format wars, really like the ESL style. And yeah, it's really exciting to see WCL bring in the new format, kind of going along the same lines as some of the other leagues, but this is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, it's the future of the game. It's the future of esports. And, you know, it's good to see not only just esports related companies sponsoring these leagues, but also something like with the CWL esports last season, for instance. We had a sponsor who was nowhere near involved with any kind of gaming or CWL. They were just involved in tech services, and they looked at the league and they were like, hey, let's sponsor this league and get that prize pool going. So the more sponsors, the better, because hey, more prize money for the players, and that just in general grows the community. We get more esports teams involved and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I don't know if you watched the CWL announcement on Blame Adam's stream, but it was pretty nuts, the amount of people. I think they had nearly, I think it was maybe even over 200 clans signing up for that. So yeah, pretty nuts, the amount of people.
I've got PTSD from that stream because of all the people DMing me about how King Jeffrey shouldn't have made it in. We should have had to qualify. It was bad, and I was kind of like, I didn't make that decision, but okay, because I play King Jeffrey. So
all three of the EYG clans all got straight in, and that's because Crunk's an admin in there. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, they're not good clans.
Yeah,
they've got some good players, but you know, if you've got a foot already in the door, it always helps a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got Zach. We got Live It Little. Thank you so much for joining in over on Twitch there. Over on YouTube, it's a little quiet, and over on Trovo, it's also ever so slightly quiet, but I'm sure it'll pick up as the wars go on here. So we saw Knight Riders yesterday pick up the win against Double Barrel in the best of two format. It was a good war between both of them. We saw Double Barrel kind of starting a little slow there. They had a couple of failed attacks, but going back into it, they won that second war. So let's see if Knight Riders can put on an even better showing today.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this one. And I'm assuming that you've seen the sneak peek for today.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
The friendly challenges and the friendly wars is the best thing that they could have implemented ever. Like, this is, I'm looking at, I was reading it this morning before I even got out of bed, and I was like, there's no way this is actually real. And I'm like, wait, it is. That's dream come true.
Yeah, it is exactly what like all of the community were asking for, and like people have been asking this for a long time, so I'm so glad they've actually listened to what we are saying and they've implemented this, because it's something that the game desperately needs, especially for all these like player based tournaments, like players organizing stuff. It just makes life 10 times easier rather than having to like go through and like train up different armies, and like most people probably having to gem stuff for attacks if they're changing their armies or whatever.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
A good example would be Alpha League, right? You're a 1v1 style friendly challenges. You know, that's huge to be able to not have to like completely retrain an army based upon a base you see. I think it allows for more, I guess, flexibility when it comes to the attacks that you can use against specific bases. People aren't forced to like, okay, I have to use this army that I have pre-cooked. No, you can use whatever you want. You know, that's
what I'm really looking forward to, because I think people would have an army trained and they'll go, right, I'll just use this army and try and mold it to this base. But now it'll push people to try and do like a variation of different armies, because they'll go, right, I think this one is best for this base, so I can just change rather than going, right, I'll just make hybrid work, or I'll make Lalo work, or whatever. They can just say, right, I'm doing this strategy. I'll just change to that army now. Like it's just a much easier system.
Exactly. I didn't know it was for friendly wars as well. But once I saw that it was, I was like, okay, this is just huge. Because right now already it doesn't burn your main army. It'll get rid of your CC if you do an attack in a friendly war. But your main army stays there. So why not make it to where you can use whatever you want?
Yeah,
It's helping out the
it's
competitive scene.
yeah, it's quite irritating as well. I find that when I go into a friendly war, I always forget that it doesn't actually burn through your army. So I end up like just having that sitting there. I'll go into my next attack and be like, hang on, this is not the army I want for farming.
Right. Also, thank you for the gifted sub. Much appreciated, my dude.
That's
I
all
actually
good.
just
Gotta give the
realized
love to
that.
my man Pfizer.
Absolute legend. Okay, I actually just realized that the alerts is not on this overlay. So let me just pop over. You know, there's never been a stream start with a new overlay where I haven't had like one quirk that I've had to work out on stream. It's got to at least have one little issue. There we go. So let's put this on over here and get this one going. There we go. Okay, so now if I pop it up again, it should, right? Yeah, there we go. See, Fraser, thank you so much for the sub. And Clash of Style, thanks for the gifted sub to him as well. He gets to use those beautiful little emotes there. I'm thinking about getting some custom made. Maybe. Thinking about it.
You gotta do it.
I know, I'm tempted. I'm tempted because I have those emote slots, but it's more of like what I would really do. I know like a hype one would be cool maybe, but
yeah,
we'll see.
definitely.
We'll see.
Originally I was gonna make my own ones, but I was like, nah, I don't really have any experience in making emotes, so I was like, I'm gonna go to someone who I know is really, really good at them. And yeah, I was really happy with how mine came out. I was actually gonna go back to him and get some more recently, but his prices have tripled. So I was like, okay, yeah, I was like, maybe I'll just leave them as they are for now.
Yeah. We got Stickman over on YouTube. We got TW Holmes over on YouTube as well. Shout out to you two guys. The daily dose of issues, you know it, man. Absolutely. So one thing that I'm sure you've seen with the sneak peeks is the lightning spell changes. My entire clan has been talking about how, okay, not only is this update just going to be great because quality of life, but that is just completely buffed air. Do you think we're going to see more air strategies come the update release?
Yeah, I think personally, I was having to think about this earlier. So I think the strategies we're going to see and the strategies we might see. So I think dragons are definitely going to come hugely back into the meta. Dragons, E-Drags, and probably Lalo as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just going to come flooding back because 3 of those lightning spells can take down an air defense, which I think is going to get changed very, very quickly. I don't think they're going to leave it like that. I think they'll push it more towards 4. We'll take it down. But one of the other things that I was thinking about is if you can take down the air defenses, you're never going to have any issues with charging your heroes in, no matter what. So are we going to start seeing king charges, queen charges, world champion charges, warden charges, like all in the same hit?
That would be interesting. Another thing that I saw that I think that, I primarily use queen charge hybrid, but the strategy that I'll switch to if I'm going air is those that queen charge dragons or just drag bat. But the one thing I saw is that two of those spells takes down an air sweeper. And I was like, that's big. If you're flying into a side of the base that it's like, oh, this is perfect, but there's an air sweeper pointed, just throw 2 spell space at it and it's gone. Like,
yeah, and it does do that little bit of splash as well. So
yeah, that's true.
I think it's gonna completely change base building because you can't have like a sweeper next to an air defense anymore. Like you just cannot have that.
Mm-hmm. I've got one of my one of my clanmates works with RH base building, and he's like, "Rip, there goes my Clash career there. I got to relearn base building now." And I'm like, "Don't worry, man, you'll be fine."
Yeah, I think it really is gonna like completely change the meta, how things are gonna work. Because I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone use lightning spells above Town Hall 10, like Town Hall 11, anything like that. But they're gonna come flooding back in, and I think we're gonna see the dirty E-Drag spammers. I think we're going to see them, they're going to come right back in. They'll be like, we'll just throw a few of these lightning spells down, on the air defenses, spam the base, 3-star all day.
Yep. Yeah, but no, I'm also interested to see how this affects the lower town halls. One person I know, he's playing Town Hall 9 right now, and he's primarily just using, zap drag. You zap the air defenses and just drag the base. It's like now you can pretty much take down 3 of the air defenses with all your spells. And then you've got one left to
Yeah,
deal with.
that's gonna be broken. That is gonna be so broken. You could just like you could probably sue your heroes in to get the other air defense, and then there's nothing stopping the dragons, and that that's gonna take all the skill out. Well,
Oh,
if
shoot.
there is much skill at 10 or 9, most of the time I just spam with Goho or whatever. But
Oh yeah.
yeah.
We've got a
Oh
live
hell,
from
we
the
got
war. They're
first
going
live.
in early here. They're ready for it. We've got another Queen Charge hybrid for this base, bringing in the normal wall breakers and the sneaky goblins. And it looks like he might be setting his queen to kind of step up here and possibly go in for that town hall. Starting the queen over by this about 8 o'clock side, and she's going to kind of work her way, hopefully up towards the top side. But those Teslas might cause a few issues for his queen moving into the base here.
Yeah, definitely. So we've already seen a few of those balloons coming in just for testing for any of those seeking air mines. Obviously, those Teslas did pop up, like you said, which took down those balloons pretty damn quickly. Queen is, though, going to push up to the top of the base. Doesn't look like she's going to get pulled down, and she is going to try and work her way in towards that town hall. We only have those regular wall breakers on this one, so let's see how effective they can be.
He's dropping that rage spell to keep her moving there. She actually encountered a lot of damage. Those two Expos firing in on her. Here come all of the wall breakers, and he's kind of praying at this point. There's no giant bomb, but there is a giant bomb. It's going to blow up all the wall breakers, and that's not going to get his queen into the town hall. And now at this point, he's got to be thinking, okay, didn't get the wall break. Time for plan B. There's no way I'm going to get the queen to the town hall. Might even opt in to let her walk around it here and then send in the hybrid straight for it. There comes the king at 11 o'clock there to do a bit of funneling. And I won't be surprised if we see the hybrid dive straight into that town hall.
Yeah, definitely. Poison spell going to go down on those clan castle troops that have coming out there. Poison should be quite effective here. A good placement on that to take down those lava pups. The king's doing a pretty solid job, now being joined by that siege backs from the top, and we see those miners starting to come in. The funnel just about set, so hopefully they should push in towards that town hall compartment.
I'm actually really liking what he's decided to do here. Rather than allow that queen to force upwards there, he's actually forced her south, which is going to let her do a little bit more value there. But his troops are starting to path around the town hall. There we go. The miners do eventually activate it. We might see a really nice warden ability. There it is. It's just barely going to keep that king alive. Now that RC and all of the hogs are moving into the base. He's keeping that queen alive as well. And so far, this is actually looking pretty decent for that queen not getting what he wanted here.
Yeah, we saw the Royal Champion's ability just go off on the top right-hand section of the base. Got a huge amount of value out of that, but she did unfortunately go down. We still have a scatter shot here on the back end of this one. The miner's now going to push onto it. Queen's still going strong along the left-hand side. We have already burned through her ability, and it looks like the last of those healers is also going to go down, but this one's looking quite promising here.
Wow, what a recovery, though. He adapted on the fly and was able to step up and just make the necessary adjustments. And I mean, for a raid that started with a failed wall break and just straight to plan B, he's looking like he's going to end possibly with this 3-star here. It's really close, but with those miners thinning out at the back end, he's just got to rely on this queen. But with no healers, it's going to be a little tough here. It's really, really close. He might just barely have enough, but the time is ticking down. So regardless, it is going to be a time fail. But to turn a somewhat of a mistake near that beginning to a 93, 94% in this 5v5 format is huge. So a really nice job here and very nice try.
Yeah, 94% 2-star there. And honestly, I do not know how he managed to turn that one around. Getting that queen to push along the left-hand side really kept those hogs and the miners so closely packed together that those heal spells were getting crazy, crazy value. And yeah, a little bit unfortunate going straight into a giant bomb at the start. That seems to be yeah,
OP base
and a
building.
recurring theme. What happens with the regular wall breakers? I seem to see that all the time. People put in a couple of testers that go, it's all clear, and then somehow a trap pops up out of nowhere. But 94% 2-star, still a pretty strong result there.
Yeah, for sure. In all honesty, I mean, how do you think, I don't know if you saw, but the scatter shot near the end of that raid started laying into the hog riders and miners and took out a couple of them. I don't know if you saw the damage or the attack speed decrease or increase rather for the scatter shot. It went from like 3 seconds to like 3.34. It was like 3/10 of a second of a change in that. And the only thing that runs through my mind when I see those changes are there's some dude sitting behind the Supercell Clash development team counter with like 800 IQ sitting here like, guys, we need to decrease it by that ever so slightly amount and just we'll be set. Here we go. Second live is going in. Let's see if Kerala Kings can respond a little bit better. We're seeing a bit of a Yeti smash here. We might start with a Warden walk bit of an interesting base design. And in all honesty, I've seen this base design hit this exact same way. He's going to start with that blimp by the 12 o'clock side. Two Seeking Airmine's going to pop out, just drop the Rage over that Inferno. He's going to be able to take that one down as well as nab this Queen here. And that's good identification of the value, making sure that he gets that Rage down. Oh no, he doesn't get the Queen. Just barely,
I
she
really
stays
thought, yeah,
alive. Dang.
I really thought those Yetis were going to be able to grab the Queen, but it looks like those Expos, as soon as they locked on to those Yetis, they shredded them down. The Queen on the smallest amount of health, but we're going to see our Queen coming in from 12 o'clock, going to jump her in to try and get as much value as we can. Obviously, that Town Hall, obviously, going to be the thing we're going to be pushing into here. Yeti's already coming in. Not sure that funnel is quite set, though, having to pop that King's ability there.
Oh, it's a bit risky there. A lot of the Yetis and bowlers are pathing to the outside, and now I'm questioning that beginning rage there. I don't think he needed to rage that to get that Inferno out of the way, but I think it was also to create the funnel. Regardless, he's still got most of the Yetis dialing back in towards the inside, but those bowlers are nowhere near where he wants them to be. Only about two of the bowlers dived into the base, dropping the rage spell. But again, those scatter shots and the Town Hall freeze effect there is doing a little bit of damage to these Yetis, and they're starting to thin out in the core of this base.
Yeah, and those earthquakes were actually slightly off as well. We didn't quite break into the Dark Elixir compartment right there, but we have been able to open up the majority of the base in the center. But like you said, those Yetis are thinning out hugely in the center, and that seems to be a recurring theme for Yetis. If they can't make it through the middle, then that's just going to be it. They won't be able to pick up too much more percent here, I don't think. We actually have the late Royal Champion coming in from the top, and we've now I look at the army, we've still got a few troops in hand, so this is going to be interesting to see how this guy goes in with these last couple of troops here.
Yeah, despite this one not possibly going in for a 3-star, there's a lot of buildings up at this top side that he can grab for extra percentage. And in all honesty, when he was diving into that base there, I'm not entirely sure what came out of that defensive CC, but I know that there was a few Ice Golems, I believe, which slowed down those Yetis, which, man, those Ice Golems on defense really are just killers for Yetis. If you're going into a base with a Yeti smash and you see 3 Ice Golems come out of that clan castle, you are in some trouble. But he's dropping some cleanup troops around the outside here, grabbing that extra percentage. He's not going to end with a 94% too, but he's going to try and rack up this percentage as high as he can, knowing that he's going to need as much as possible here.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you were saying, when you see those ice golems coming out, the issue is if it freezes your troops, Yetis, bowlers, whatever, in front of a scatter shot or in front of double scatter shot, man, your troops are about to be toast. And I think that's pretty much what happened here.
Yeah, just want to highlight Kerala Kings here really quickly. I've got some info from chat. They won the WCL Season 6 Light Division, actually. So they're coming away with that championship win, and they're hoping to make a little bit of a debut here for the champs season that will be upcoming. This is a little mini event that's really designed to kind of show the league and possible people that are participating in the league and maybe people who are just interested in watching it, the kind of format that we're running with here. I don't believe all of the wars are going to be best of 2, but they're going to be the same ESL esports style format, which is that 5v5 alternating attacks, which is the kind of action we love to see because it means nonstop action for us to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just waiting on this next hit coming in. It is going to be, again, Knight Riders. They're going to be bringing this one in. They started really strong here with that 94% 2-star. Got a little bit unfortunate with the Queen charge, but they were definitely looking on form here. So are we going to see a 3-star coming in the next one?
Yeah, we've also got someone in the chat saying Hybrid is so strong. Crazy recovery potential always. And that's true. With Hybrid, there's not a whole lot that you'll have to do. If things go wrong for you, it's kind of a lot easier to read and adapt, especially if you've used it very often. So it kind of allows for that flexibility. But I think in all honesty, I mean, we still haven't seen all the update changes just yet. We've only gotten 2 out of, I believe, 5 maybe 5 or 6 sneak peeks or so. I'm interested to see what's going to be coming out next. But so far, I can already see the return of more air raids. So we might see Hybrid a little bit less, which would kind of be a breath of fresh air, just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they are trying to not fade them out, but, put a little bit of a nerf on some of these ground attacks. Because one thing that I think maybe didn't get mentioned enough was the extra spring trap that's going to be brought in. And to, a hog miner thing like that's going to take away quite a lot of hog riders, because that additional spring trap can be pretty lethal to a group of hogs. So I think that's going to be interesting to see that come into the base building aspect of things. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
1 spring trap technically can get rid of, what is it, 3 hogs, I think? Three hogs per
Yeah, I
spring
think so.
trap, and I mean that could end a raid. You never know. I mean that little bit of extra defensive power really can turn the tides for some of these raids here. But I think what's important with this update and the little changes that they're making is not only making sure that the meta is balanced, that defense is not stronger than offense and offense isn't stronger than defense, but also making sure that there's variety when it comes to the attacks. They don't want a
Yep.
base to only be able to be tripled by this attack strategy. They want it to be tripled by multiple different things,
Yeah.
and it's all about what attackers can do to kind of manipulate their attack strategy into going in and three-starring the base.
Yeah. Next attack is in here. It's going to be against my namesake, Alex. Yash going to be coming in on this one. Looks like it's going to be another Yeti smash. We do have those super wall breakers selected. Going to be starting with our Grand Warden over on that left hand section of the base.
All right, so that Warden walk starting at this 9 o'clock side, really not meant to grab any crazy value buildings, but the one thing that it is going to do is create a very nice funnel for the Yetis that might dive into the 7 o'clock side where that single is. You can kind of see the Warden clearing through those buildings. We might see the King come down from 6. There's the King and the Siege Barracks, and he's going to kind of clear that side of the base and allow those Yetis to force straight into that single Inferno. Now, the only worry here going into the Town Hall is that dead zone between it. And I'm not sure if the Yetis are going to path for that town hall, but rather path for the buildings on the outside.
Yeah, I can see exactly what Yash is trying to do here. Create that funnel, push all of these Yetis and bowlers through. There are the jump spells to give us access through the base. A first rage spell going to be going down right there. And the Warden's AI seems to be not too bad for this one. Obviously, it's getting a little bit of a change, but we are now pushing in towards that town hall. There is the Warden's ability, not quite catching all of our troops, but the majority of them are able to be invincible for a minute there. Clan Castle troops going to hold us up. The poison spell takes the majority of them down, though, as we continue pushing through the base here.
Those Hog Riders coming out of that siege barracks to help support the main army. They're actually going to get rid of one of the scatter shots, but you can kind of see that enemy defensive hound delaying that queen in the core of the base. He had a good setup with the jump spells, but that second jump wasn't even used there. None of the Yetis made it past the town hall there. And this queen's going to die out in the center of the base, and this is going to end at a pretty relatively low percent. He's going to just try and pick off a couple more buildings on the outside here, but things have definitely thinned out for him.
Yeah, for me with these attacks, you see these bowlers come in and they pack together in big groups, and one or two scatter shots and they're gone. You can't even get a heal spell or whatever to keep them up unless we have a the Grand Warden's ability on them. They are dead. So more often than not, they're almost wasting those bowlers. They're just used mainly at the start to push through, and it's the Yetis that need to carry them on the back end. And unfortunately, everything just died off in the center of this one.
Yeah, something that Style mentioned a little bit earlier was the Warden doing okay on this raid. He's getting a couple of changes in this next update, and judging by Itsu's excitement from his first sneak peek video about the Warden, it's probably really good. And I hope
Yep.
it is because I've had several, especially air raids, where the Warden is just kind of he's going with the main army and he'll either suicide himself by going straight into the middle of the base, or he'll
Yeah.
just chill with the pups in the back and not really do much. But this raid going to end at a 70% decent result there. But hopefully we can see a 3-star from either one of these sides in the next coming attacks.
Yeah, I'm definitely really looking forward to seeing those Warden changes. But like you said, Itsu's usually one of my go-to guys for the update stuff because he shows like he's a sensational attacker. So he goes straight in and he's like, "This is how it's going to affect the game. This is how it's going to affect this attack." We've got another live, and we can continue this discussion after. Looks like it's going to be Alex coming in on this one with a drag back. Do you want to kick us off?
For sure. Now this base a little bit similar style to one that we've seen hit a little bit earlier with that kind of symmetrical sided or kind of symmetrical looking base here. He's going to be bringing in the drag bat here, and I'm really interested to see what he's going to try and do. Looking for where the bats might come in. We might see them from this top side here, but we're going to see the king start over by this 9 o'clock side to kind of clear a couple of buildings, and you can kind of see where that queen is gone, where he's trying to send his dragons in. He wants them straight in by this 6 o'clock side. That king going to do some nice funneling. Ice Golem in front of that queen, going to allow her to step up and take down those inner layer of defenses. Now, how is he going to funnel the defenses on the left side? That is the question here.
Yeah, definitely getting some really good value from those heroes. It looks like the queen unfortunately is pushing up there. I'm guessing that he was maybe looking for her to come down here. The king also did not take out that wizard tower over here on the left hand side. So we see Alex dropping that baby dragon, going to take care of that because it can be very lethal to those bats. Is it even going to get that wizard tower down? It does just before it goes down. And we see the balloons going to be coming out in front of the dragons. Warden also going to be going down nice and early, and they are going to push hard in towards this town hall compartment.
Now that stone slammer there placement really nicely done there. That's going to actually force those dragons hopefully into the town hall and just avoid that outer layer of defenses. But it looks like the stone slammer is going to go down earlier than he had expected. He's using a freeze for the town hall. He's in a little bit of trouble here. I think he's panicking just a tad bit. Dropped a freeze to make sure he gets the town hall. He's going to get it down, still moving through. And again, those bats, we're most likely going to see them coming from this top side. Now the CC has not been lured out, so I guess he's hoping that there isn't anything too crazy in there to stop these dragons, maybe even a triple ice golem CC. But the drags are moving through here. They're going to step up into the core. That E-Dragon helping out a ton. And now I wonder if we're going to see these bats come in anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We end up losing our royal champion there, unfortunately, to that single target Inferno. One thing that Alex maybe didn't quite think about here, they were pushing right into an air sweeper, so these dragons were getting buffeted back. But we've got the bats now coming in from that left-hand side. The wizard tower in the center focused in on the dragons as the bats are going to continue sweeping around. Doesn't look like we've got any clan castle troops coming out, so I wonder what's in. But a red bomb. Oh dear.
Oh no. I saw it pop out and I was like, please just go for the dragons. And then it just kind of beeline straight for the bats and kind of forced them a bit to the left there.
That is really, really unfortunate. And then in the new update, that's actually going to change because the Seeking Air Mines and the red bombs, they're not going to now follow all the way across the map. I think it's only going to be within a short distance that they can go. But if those bats hadn't gone down there, this would have been a triple for sure. But unfortunately, they did get taken down. And this one is going to be another reasonable percent coming in here for Alex.
Yeah, and again, those changes to the lightning spell, it makes me wonder, would he have switched out maybe a rage spell there for lightning spells to get that sweeper out of the way and keep those dragons in the center? Who knows? That could have been some good value, but I liked how he brought 2 freezes, didn't even freeze a single splash damage defense. He froze the town hall and that queen there for the bats. Didn't even have to worry about splash. But the bats maybe could have gone in a little bit earlier there to kind of support those dragons moving through and maybe get ahead of them so that way they're not kind of in conjunction with them and could possibly die to those red mines there.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Kerala Kings currently on 35% here, Knight Riders on 32.8. So there is a little bit of a percent difference on those scores. Kerala Kings just ahead at the moment.
We've also got another war going on. We're not going to focus on it just yet, but we will jump over to it after this war concludes and we get into that period where they're just going to be scouting, that preparation phase, and we can maybe show some hits from over there. But yeah, we've got about 20 minutes left to go. We've got 3 hits from both sides. As Styles said earlier, it's very close on percentage right now. Kerala Kings just barely ahead at the moment. Okay, wait, I'm getting some... There we go. Oh, hold on a second. There we go. Do you mind doing a mic test for me? I think they can hear you, but
yeah.
Okay, there we go. Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
Is that better?
Yeah, I was making sure that they could hear you because I had someone say that you're very soft, even though it's projected very loud on.
Okay. See that Pfizer, very soft boy.
I can go ahead and up him just a little bit there. Let's see if that helps. It should help. There we go.
Cool.
Can't do much about it. He's just soft. Love it. Let's see. Who are a couple of people in the chat? We'll go ahead and give some shout outs to some people. We got Nathan over at Town Hall, or Nathan Town Hall 9 on YouTube. We got Moomun, or it's Moomun? I don't know how to pronounce your name, but what's up over on YouTube?
You're acing that pronunciation.
Bro, I'm so good at it, man. We got Flick on YouTube. Got a bunch of people. We got Webaballa in the chat as well. What's up? I'm doing good. Doing well. The agenda today is some WCL Fight on Warriors event here. This is a little preseason event to kind of showcase this 5v5 style for the WCL Champions League that recently now has got themselves a sponsor. Again, you've got that $300 prize pool for the tournament that will be starting, I believe, July 10th. I think that's the date
somewhere about there. Yep.
Helga can confirm for me in chat. If I'm wrong, she can yell at me. Don't worry. All right. Nathan wants me to say his name. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. And then Stickman also. What's up? Hope you guys are all feeling super special. Again, not paying a ton of attention to the chat, but that's mainly because we're doing a bit of dual commentary for you guys. Again, Clash with Styles, if you don't already know him, another Clash of Clans content creator. He's not only helping run the Alpha League, I believe he's one of the main creators, but he's also doing a bunch of sick media stuff and He's got some cool artist stuff as well. Why don't you actually talk about that a little bit here? What kind of commission stuff are you working on at the moment?
Sure. So I've got a few secret projects that I'm working on. One of the main things that obviously recently got announced was all the CWL Champions War League graphics. So I did all the announcement posters, like all the those kind of stuff. So that was a pretty big project for me, and that's got me a huge amount of work on the back end just from those shout outs. So big shout out to the guys over there that got me to do some work. But yeah, I'm doing a few things for streamers here and there, mainly overlays, logos, panels, that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely keeping myself busy, mainly with Alpha League right now. That we just had our third qualifier for Alpha League, finishing off today, and it's been a handful. But luckily, I've got my helpers, Lil or Live It Little, who was in the chat, who's my girlfriend. She has been unbelievable. So while I'm here, I'll give her a shout out. But yeah.
Gotta love that. So we've got someone in the chat asking about the double barrel war. So the double barrel war, oh goodness, look at me go. The double barrel war is live at the moment. Right now, the score is 2-2, 14.60% to Sway Esports, 14.20 to double barrel. We're gonna kind of be keeping up with that every now and then, but we're gonna be focusing up on this war. And then once this one concludes, then we will jump over to that other war. But we've got a live. Why don't you go ahead and kick us off here, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Canal coming in here with a Queen charge from 12 o'clock here. Going to be coming in with another hybrid attack. Those hogs and those miners so popular right now before this update comes. Queen going to be trying to get as much value as we can. Coco Loon also be coming in there from the top. Single target Inferno does lock onto her, but that delay now on the single target Inferno means we can get that free spell down with no problem at all. She should be able to take that down right there.
Now, judging where he's dropped that rage spell, I don't think he expected his queen to kind of go into that channel there, but I think it's going to actually help him out in the long run here, and that's going to allow her to step up and take down the enemy queen. He goes ahead and lures the clan castle. There are a couple of archers coming out, so there's still a bunch of units stuck in that clan castle. It could be a lava hound, could be some ice golems, and he might opt in to take the chance of it being a lava hound, and he may just let it sit inside of that clan castle as he's got his hybrid moving in. We've got the king and the siege barracks coming in from 9 o'clock, and here go all of those miners and the hogs straight in towards this town hall.
Yeah, Queen does have to pop her ability right there. There was a single locked onto her, and we had no free spells left. Unfortunately, it locks onto her once again. Even with the rage, she is going to get burnt down there. Warden's ability used on these hogs and the miners as they push through that town hall. There's the first star closing in on the second star right now. Both scatter shots still up, as well as that eagle artillery on the back end. A lot of splash damage defenses here, and I think they're going to struggle a little bit.
Ooh. He gets unlucky on the clan castle there. It is not a lava hound. It's an ice golem and a dragon. Probably the worst combination to run into in the back end of a base with hybrid. They're still pushing through here. That top end scatter shot's causing him a lot of problems here. Those healers did switch over to the hybrid after the queen died. But again, that scatter shot doing a lot of damage, and he's starting to thin out here. Does have the Royal Champion ability and does have that Warden up, giving that bit of extra HP buff to the miners and the Royal Champion. Royal Champion ability gets popped off. He's starting to thin out just a little bit, but he might just barely have enough to get this one done. Just maybe. It's close.
Yeah, got very lucky with that Royal Champion stepping up and actually took down the dragon from the clan castle. I was very worried that was just going to toast all of our troops, but she stepped up and she took that down. Doesn't look like we've got too many miners left up on this one. Should be a decent percent again, but with the scatter shot setting up, yeah, this one's not going to be a 3-star here.
Yeah, it was a good try, and again, it's going to end another one of these raids in the high percentage. And one thing we like seeing is if a raid is not going to go in for the 3, then wait, I'm saying it's not going to go in for the 3. But a couple of miners pathing towards that scatter shot. Could they take it down? It's really close, but it might be time here. Yeah, in all honesty, both of the raids. Yeah, both of the raids that got close to those triple. It's going to end at 94% again. Both of them really close there, but just barely not going to have the steam to get through it.
Yeah, and I think, like you said at the start, I don't actually think that's what he was expecting from his queen charge. The rage was a little bit off, and I think that's maybe because he was expecting the queen to go the other side of the wall. But I mean, that was pretty solid queen charge coming in there. Maybe got a little bit unlucky popping, getting that queen going down to the single. Maybe another freeze build would have been handy there, keeping that queen up. But still a really nice hit coming in. Another 94, very, very strong indeed.
Yeah, I'm looking at the hit back and I can kind of see the base design itself and that single inferno in the core. The queen was not meant to be anywhere near that, but because she walked into that channel and beat through the wall, he had to deal with that a little bit and he kind of had to burn his freezes there. So could have possibly used those freezes for the hybrid on the scatter shots to keep that queen going. Well, at least one of the freezes in the core, but again, that queen being a bit unexpected or doing something a bit unexpected there and just kind of diving into that channel. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Kerala Kings can respond with here. We've seen a lot of very close hits, but so far haven't seen the triple just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not too sure what he was actually looking for with his queen charge there, if it was just to set the funnel or what, because he kind of pushed us straight in towards a single target Inferno. There was no way she was going to get the Town Hall. I can't really see what value he was looking for there, but nonetheless, we've got the next attack coming in. Oh, God. Oh, God. You want to take us away?
you, you said it earlier this stream. Hopefully, we won't see the rise of that E-Dragon spam here. And sure enough, we've got those E-Dragons coming in. And let's see what they can do here. He might not opt in to spam them here. Does have the blimp, and we might see that for the Town Hall. It's a bit of an interesting base with that Town Hall being isolated like that. Both of the heroes coming in from this 12 o'clock side. He's got that one E-Dragon at the right by 3, and here come all of the E-Dragons straight in towards this 2 o'clock side. They're going to dive in, and we might see this blimp come in shortly for that Town Hall.
I like how you said he might not spam them. What else do you do with E-Dragons? They're going to be pushing right into the middle of the base here, and we see those archers coming out of the clan castle, which really can hold up these E-Drags for quite a long time, though Poison Spell is going to go down right there, and the E-Drags have kind of split into two groups here, currently one over on the left-hand side and some in the center of the base here. This, though, I don't like saying it with E-Drags, but this is looking pretty good here.
It is all 4 of those Expos on ground, not helping him out at all here. A couple of those dragons are going to get sucked into that tornado trap, but again, they're still moving through here. He's got all 3 of his heroes still alive at the left side there. Warden's moving in with the E-Dragons here. They're diving through. He's got a couple of heroes to deal with on the back end himself, but with that queen ability and how many E-Dragons are left alive, we might see our first triple here. It's not with the best attack strategy in the world, but nonetheless, it is going to be a 3-star. I don't think there's enough here to stop these dragons moving through. Wow.
Oh man, I was saying the other day on my stream how I've never seen a 3-star coming in with E-Drag spam at 10 or 13 in like leagues and stuff. But well, there it is. There's the first one. I mean,
Yeah,
a good hit. It was a good hit. I gotta give it to him. The spell placement was pretty spot on. The funnel was really nicely created, and yeah, there's the first triple coming in from Kerala Kings right there.
Yeah, and I can't fault him. That was just good base identification. Kind of noticed that all the buildings on the outsides from away from that town hall, technically they were kind of bunched together and provided for some good chain value for the E-Dragons moving through, and nonetheless got it done. And a couple of people in the YouTube chat not too happy about that, I can tell. But I believe we had the Kerala Rider or the Knight Riders leader pop in the chat a bit earlier. I think someone said so. We had Isan Kambor join the YouTube chat, one of the leaders over by Knight Riders there. We had a couple of new follows as well that I missed. We had Single 95 with the follow, and we had Pedro with the follow over on Twitch. Much appreciated to both you guys, and welcome to the stream today. 4 ground expos is crazy. That's another thing. What do you think about that base design in general? Do you think it was meant to defend more ground attack strategies and kind of made it susceptible to air like that?
I definitely think so. I think people now are trying to defend against hybrid. I think that's one of the main strategies now that, people, when they're building bases, think hybrid's probably most people's go-to strategy right now. Yetis are probably in the mix as well. So it's mainly ground. There are people who are pushing towards trying to get Lalo back into the meta, but there's not many people who would comfortably use that. And E-Drags, a lot of people don't use them because they think it's just a bit spammy. Me being one of them. So I think, yeah, that base was definitely aimed to defend against a ground attack. And like you said, really good base identification there to see those ground expos and think that those big blue dummies were the way to go.
Yeah, no, I think with the changes to the lightning spell, it's just going to provide not only for more strength to those air attacks, but more flexibility. We might see a lot more E-Dragon bats. We might see more drag bat. Who knows? One thing that I'm interested in though is seeing what kind of crazy attack strategy are some of these pro players going to come up with? Because you know, someone out there is going to look at the changes and go, you know what I should do? I'm going to try that. And it's going to work. And then everyone's going to start using it. And
And
it's going to be
everyone's
the
gonna
weirdest thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see that happening. Like a strategy we've not seen before. Someone like, up in these big leagues is gonna go, oh, well, this is a really easy strategy to take down any base, and everyone will go, that's all we're gonna use now. And then Supercell will go, no, no, this is exactly what we didn't want to happen.
Yeah, think about the start of Queen charges and Queen walks and Warden walks. Supercell did not, or the Clash development team did not even intend for healers to do that, but the creativity from the players caught on, and then everyone started using it. I don't think I've seen a Town Hall 13 raid, or at least gone a day without seeing a Queen charge at a Town Hall 13 raid. But we got another
Yeah.
live here. Why don't you go ahead and kick us off with this one?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Dibble coming in here. It looks like we've been talking a lot about hybrid, and here is another example of it. We've got a couple of loons going to be coming in from the top section of the base, and then a couple going to be coming in from that left-hand side. Baby Dragon doing a great job already funneling down some of those structures, and we've now got a wizard also going to be joining the party from the left-hand side.
So he's right now just trying to set up the queen charge here, trying to get all of the steps out of the way. He's gotten the wall break, getting that funnel in, and now that's going to force that queen directly into that scattershot compartment unless she bounces to the outside here because that dark drill didn't go down. She should force back inside. Nope, absolutely not.
No,
There
she's
goes the
not.
queen. Now he does have a second wall breaker, so he is going to opt in to use it here to try and force that queen to the scatter. But now with that angle she's taking, she is going to encounter the Inferno if she does step in, which right now it's not looking like she will. He's in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, definitely getting really unfortunate with that queen not going in. And I think I'm a little bit worried here about that scatter shot starting to work on the healers if that queen path's too far out of its range. But exactly like you said, she is going to walk straight into the path of that single. She then opts to walk out and back in again. So she is getting smacked really hard right now. Takes down the scatter shot. Has to drop the poison there on nothing.
Oh
Yeah, this is
no.
one a little bit unfortunate here.
That lava hound, because the queen popped her ability, the lava hound locked onto the king and pulled that queen out of the base there. Now she is going to get away from that single, but at this point it doesn't really matter. And now he's just gone to complete adaptation plan here. He's just going straight for that town hall, has to at least secure the 2-star to keep his clan in the war. Now that hybrid came straight in from the 6 o'clock side, and now at this point he's just going to be trying to get them to get as much into the base as possible and grab as much percentage as possible, because with all three of those Inferno towers, the Eagle and a Scattershot being alive, it's going to be a bit of a tough time for this hybrid here going into the base.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a little bit of a panic when he saw that that queen was not going the way we wanted her to. It was a bit late coming in with that siege barracks on the bottom section of the base, and it meant that a lot of the miners ended up going around rather than into the center of the base. I think this one is only going to be a 2-star, and it looks like we've actually got another live coming in.
All right, so this one is going to end at a 2-star here. We're going to go ahead and pop out of this one and jump straight over to the other hit that's going in on this. Okay, wait, that's also Night Riders going in a bit early. So Night Riders, another hit from them here. We've got it's looking like a Warden walk into the Yeti Smash here. Starting with the Warden at about the 6 o'clock side, we've got 2 jump spells and 7 wall breakers. So we're going to see those jump spells allow those Yetis to get access to the Town Hall. Warden Walk's doing a nice job funneling here, and now those Yetis will probably come in from this 4 o'clock side.
Yeah, on this one, there's not really too much dead space, so we should see these Yetis and the bowlers push into the center and path right the way through. We do have 2 jump spells to get us through these compartments, a couple of wall breakers as well to open up these first few walls here. Yeah, Warden's done a great job at 6 o'clock. The siege barracks also going to be joining us from the right hand side there about 3 o'clock. Unfortunately, it looks like those 2 heroes, the king and the royal champion, doing a big number on them.
Wow, he's actually gotten some pretty decent value from those wall breakers. He broke through another wall that he didn't expect to, so that allowed for that, or that caused that misplacement of the jump there. But wasn't really planning on getting the wall, but actually nabbed it. But there goes the jump spell to force everything into the core of this base here. Warden ability is going to get activated. Now at this point, he's going to need to make sure that that Town Hall goes down within the Warden ability, or he's going to lose his bowlers here. And it's looking like there go the bowlers to that blast here, and he's starting to thin out in the core of this base. Queen's doing what she can. The World Champion is still in the pocket. We might see her come in from the 6 o'clock side, and there she is.
Yeah, unfortunately, that poison spell was completely off. I don't know if he even caught any of the clan castle troops. That dragon was sitting just outside of it, absolutely roasting our Yetis and our bowlers. And like you said, unfortunately, the Warden's ability wore off right as the town hall went down. So we lost all of our troops in the middle there. And all hope is now on the Royal Champion pushing along the left hand section of the base. I don't think she's quite got enough left in her to push through the remaining defenses here.
Yeah, she's really just going to try and wrap around this base. And again, right now, it really has come down to a percentage game here. They're going to have to try and rack up as much percentage as possible. So far, both of these clans not sitting with a triple, and we have another live going in. So we're actually going to bounce out of this one because with this next live that's going in, well, we've got two lives from the Kerala Kings. They're not only going to need to see another 2-star, but they're going to need a 3 to win on stars here. Why don't you go ahead and get us kicked off here with this attack on
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of attacks suddenly come in one after the other here, but it's going to be King Deepak trying to bring in the triple here for Kerala Kings, starting with that queen charge on the bottom section of the base. Super Wallbreaker going to come in as well from 6 o'clock, and the queen now going to get quickly onto that town hall.
Now this queen, she is going to deal with the town hall, got that super wall breaker in at a perfect time there. So she's going to get rid of that, and I'm interested to see what her plan is after this town hall. She is going to engage that clan castle that steps up here, going to get that royal champion out of the way as well. And now he might opt in to delay this poison. No, he's going to drop it straight away here to kind of slow down that ice golem to allow his queen to grab the lava hound. But here comes the hybrid straight in from this 9 side, and they've gone straight in here, and I think that's part of the plan. That's to kind of force the queen a little bit up there and keep her away from those single target infernos.
Yeah, very, very early coming in there with the hogs and the miners. Usually we see them coming in about the 130 mark, but they were in, I think, before we'd even hit 2 minutes on this one. Queen has done a great job at funneling on the bottom section, but was there too many defenses still left up here for these hogs and miners to try and push through?
It was a bit of a vomit of the spells at the beginning, too. We had a heal and a rage overlapping. I believe we had the warden ability overlapping a heal as well. It kind of looked like in desperation, he just kind of threw everything on the board as if he was about to lose connection or something like that. But everything going down here. He's actually going to break that queen into the other single inferno, but it's not going to matter. She is going to go down. But all 5 of those healers still going to transition to the miners and help out a little bit here. But he's starting to thin out near this back end. Inferno's doing quite a bit of work to these miners, and it's looking like this is also going to be another 2-star, which leaves all the pressure on Kerala King's final attacker.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the issue with that one was we just started with our hogs and miners slightly too early. I don't think the queen really had got the value we were looking for. She took down the town hall, but that was really all she took down. She hadn't grabbed any of the other big defenses. And like you said, the spells seemed to just kind of get thrown at the screen at the start. And yeah, the hogs and the miners, they made it through pretty quickly, but then they kind of died off.
I'm going to go ahead and give a couple of shout outs to the people in chat. We've got Kurt here saying, can I get a shout out from my dad called Andrew? Andrew, you're a lovely man. Thank you so much for your son here who's popped in to say hi. He's a wonderful person. Let's see. We got Good Evil in the chat as well. E-Dragons goes bird. Yeah, that's about it. E-Dragons are my worst nightmare from Stick as well. But yeah, this raid looking like it's going to end around the 80% mark. And now we're going to go ahead and check the percentage of the war once this attack concludes here, because it could come down to Kerala King's final attack here. They may have to hit a triple, or they could possibly lose this first war. Now again, this is a best of 2 format, which means that we're going to take the scores of both of the wars, roll them over, add them together, and whoever has the most stars will win. If it's tied on stars, it goes to percentage.
Absolutely. And the percentages are Knight Riders currently 81.2, but they have used all of their attacks. Kerala Kings still have 1 attack left, and they are on 71.8. So there is a little bit of a difference there, but Kerala Kings, obviously, they only really need a 2-star here to pull in the victory.
I believe each base is 20% of the overall destruction there. So realistically, I'm not going to try and do the math in my head because I'm not that smart, but we need a high percentage 2-star or a 3-star from Kerala Kings if they want to see the win, and we've got a live here. What are we looking at? We're looking at some Queen Charge Hybrid. Why don't you go ahead and get us kicked off with this raid here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be Chetan coming in on this one. 2 super wall breakers going to be brought in. The Queen going to be starting over here from 3 o'clock. Loon going to come in just to test for any of those black bombs. Also going to see a baby dragon come in to just help with that funnel. Really delaying on these healers here, but there's no real need to get them in too early. Just going to obviously put down those loons, test for any of those black bombs. Doesn't look like we do pull any, so the healers are now going to come in.
There we go. So the queen is actually, the healers were a little bit delayed there, but it's going to force the queen ability because he wasn't quick enough with the rage. And now that funnel for that queen to go into the base, not the best funnel ever. So he's going to get that king in by this 5 o'clock side to kind of force the queen into the base. Luckily, those archers do pull her right. And here comes that second super wall breaker to force her in to that scattershot compartment. And if she's smart enough, she can reach the town hall from that compartment as well. We saw this base get hit yesterday in a bit of a similar fashion. Again, both of the attackers going for that scattershot compartment, which allows access to the town hall here. Clan Castle will come out. It's 2 ice golems. The queen's going to take her time engaging with those.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like that single target inferno is going to lock onto the queen. We only have one free spell to get her through, so we're going to have to start our miners coming in from that bottom section. The hog's also going to be coming in behind. The queen is about to go down, though, to the enemy queen. Boom, she goes down, and those healers now going to switch over. And like we said, this needs to be a decent attack here. And right now, they are sitting quite far away from that town hall.
Oh, no. This is not looking ideal. He wanted his queen to step up and get that town hall. I'm convinced that that was a part of the plan here. And right now, everything is wrapping around the town hall, and it doesn't look like there's any buildings placed to pull those troops into the town hall. So we could be possibly looking at a 1-star, which would be a terrible way to end this war here. But he's still moving through. I believe the royal champion has just gone down here. Warden ability gets popped. There's a couple of miners near that scatter shot, but that queen being alive is going to be his demise here. Those miners are going to get distracted on the queen, which means that everything is going to path away from that town hall. And you got to admit, the start for this raid, burning that queen ability early, definitely costing him here because his queen was not able to step up and get that town hall out of the way.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really not sure why he delayed so much on those healers, because I can maybe understand at the start testing for any of those black bombs, but he just delayed and delayed and delayed, and then the queen was taking so much damage that even with the rage down on the healers, it wasn't enough to bring her back up, and she had to use that ability. And well, a 77% 1-star, probably the last thing they were looking for. What does the percent end up? Kerala Kings actually end up winning 87.2 to an 81.2, but that should have been a safe 2-star at least to bring that one home. But you can't complain. A win's a win no matter how it happens, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. We were saying that he's going to need a high percentage 2-star for the win, but technically he could have 1-starred there and still gotten the win because they were a triple ahead. And sure enough, that's what's going to happen here. We're seeing 1 triple from Kerala Kings and a 1-star, which means that they're going to end at 10. And we've got 87.20% to 81.20. Now, because this war has ended, they're going to jump straight back in to the next prep day. But I'm going to go ahead and switch screens here really quickly, and we're going to go ahead and load into the other war here that we've got going on. We're going to go ahead and show the final couple of minutes. For that one, we've got the Sway Esports versus Double Barrel War. This one's looking a little bit interesting so far. Let me see if I can get this one up here. There it is. We've got 6 to 8 at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like we've just had a lot of 2-stars coming in so far. There's been a couple of 90%. In fact, there's been 3, a 94 and 2 96% 2-stars coming in. Helga now going to be coming in. Do you want to kick us off?
Oh boy, Helga, one of the WCL admins herself. She's going to be taking the Yetis with the Golems and the Bats for this one. Definitely an interesting army composition here. We don't see those Golems used super often. She's going to start with both of them kind of diving in here to kind of do a little bit of tanking for this queen and also pull that clan castle. Now he has an E-Dragon to deal with, or she has an E-Dragon with it as well. A couple of Yetis going in to set a little bit of a funnel. Here comes the king and the warden to support a little bit, and we're probably going to see those Yetis dive straight in towards the core of this base.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's really weird seeing golems being used. We're actually going to see the siege barracks just join in with this attack right here. Witches and bowlers all going to be going in behind. And I personally cannot see many golems left up. A couple of golemites currently chilling, but it looks like they mainly have gone down here. Starting to struggle a little bit already, but we do have 6 bat spells on this one. So committing a huge amount of spells or a huge amount of spell space onto the bats, and we desperately need them to get a huge amount of value here.
Now, that warden ability was fantastic. It allowed to keep that P.E.K.K.A. alive, which actually aggroed that scatter shot for longer, allowing those bats to step up and take it down there. But used the free spell on it a little bit prematurely there. Didn't need to, but again, she was planning on freezing that scatter shot and getting out of the way. Still moving through this base at this point. The bats are kind of slightly going down here. Royal Champion's diving in. She's helping out a little bit, and or Friendly Queen is doing some damage as well. And so far, she's got a lot of troops sitting at the outside of this base. Could they eventually loop back in and 3-star here? We shall see.
Yeah, I'm really not sure the King's AI there. There is still a jump spell chilling in the center. There's also a wall that's broken there. So, yeah, I'm not too sure why he's going onto the outside, but he is going to do that. I think, I don't know if you saw it, but he actually, the bats had split into two groups and he was a bit delayed. I'm saying he, Helga's a she, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Um, the free spell was slightly delayed going onto that wizard tower, so one of the groups of bats got taken down. So really relied on the other group pushing through, but couldn't quite do it. Is there going to be enough here? It's going to be close, but that single target Inferno is looking a little bit ominous.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Again, the strategy was pretty good, and I really like the entry there, but not as many of her troops kind of path to the center that she wanted, and I think she knew that, so she had to kind of adapt there and kind of make sure that that town hall got down. But I'm actually very surprised at what the bats have done, and hang on a second. Those witches going to step up and take down the Wiz Tower. It's going to be a 3-star.
Yep, that's a triple right there from Helga using golems. Let's go, bringing the golems right back into the meta. Nice attack there from Helga.
That's awesome. It's so good to see those golems used, not only just being used, but also being used for a 3-star. Helga going to secure Sway Esports a 3-star, which is definitely what they need. They are a little bit behind on percentage, but now with that 3-star coming in, that's going to kind of put them back into this war here. So for those of you who are just joining us, we are covering the WCL Preseason Champions event, the Fight on Warriors event. We've got 4 clans involved. We're primarily covering the Kerala Kings versus Knight Riders war, but that first war has concluded, and so now we're jumping over to the Sway Esports versus Double Barrel war, covering the final couple of attacks here, and then we'll jump straight back in to the other war.
Absolutely. Rue, how you doing? Welcome into the stream. Good to see you over here in JGG Orange Stream. If you guys haven't already, make sure you give this guy a follow. He's a legend. He streams all the time. Really, really good guy. So yeah, give him a follow. You know, if you've got a spare bit of cash as well, drop that sub too.
I think lightning has just struck the building right next to me.
Is that what that noise was?
Yeah, it's not. Wait, is it raining? Hold on. It's not even raining. It's not even raining. That's Texas for you. The most
Holy
fantastic
hell.
weather. We've got all the seasons that happen pretty much constantly. We've also got Corrupt YT over on Trovo as well. Huge shout out to him. Corrupt, another fantastic Clash content creator. He's doing some really nice stuff over on YouTube. He's got some pretty awesome attack strategies. You've probably seen him inside of the game as well. He's in a couple of these For You pages here. I think he's at this Town Hall 11 one here. Yeah, there he is. He's right there. How to Lava Loon at Town Hall 10 here. We've got another live going in. Why don't you go ahead and get us kicked off here. We got Reno. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, gonna be coming in here with a huge amount of Hog Riders. Strange to not see that Hog Miner split here. Only one Miner gonna be brought in on this one. Was that lightning again?
It did it
God
again,
damn.
yeah. It actually, hold on, it stopped my capture. I don't know. One of my screens turned off, so I'm just giving it a second. Okay, it's back. It's back. We're good to go. We're good to go. All right.
God damn. Okay, the Queen's gonna be coming in from 12 o'clock right there, and I'm worried for your safety right now. Jesus
I'll be fine. Don't
Christ.
worry about it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Are
We
you,
got
are
this
you,
queen.
It's not cut out or anything, nah.
No, we're good to go. In all honesty, if I cut out, I have an excuse. You know what's going on. We're just going to let Mother Nature do her thing, and we're going to focus up on these clash attacks. Ain't nothing stopping us from covering this war here. We've got the queen charge coming in from this 12 o'clock side. We've got a mass amount of hogs, so that queen really meant to step up here, get that scatter shot out of the way, and kind of clear the way for the hog riders. Now, doesn't have a siege barracks for this town hall, so I'm wondering, are these hog riders meant to go straight in towards this town hall? He also has the enemy queen still alive, and queen's not going to take this wall break. She's going to walk to the outside. Oh no, she does.
No, she somehow goes in, and honestly, the Queen's AI sometimes surprises me, but she does go in there. Eagle is now activated and is going to start doing some shots. Looks like we have now switched over to that blimp, which most likely is going to be coming through behind these Hog Riders, catching the Eternal Tome from that Warden. Exactly is what he's doing. Queen is going to get stuck on a wall, an overpowered wall breaker, as I like to call her, as the blimp paths overhead onto that town hall.
Now that was really good placement of that blimp there. Now that free spell was perfect too. It froze that enemy queen and the Inferno Tower there, which is going to allow those sneaky goblins to step up and get the Town Hall out of the way. And so far this one's looking pretty good. And now we've got the queen joining the party here to step up and grab the enemy queen. What an OP wall break legend here, stepping up for the raid here and grabbing that enemy queen, getting her out of the way. But the hogs, they're starting to thin out just a little bit. I don't know if you're noticing, those spring traps are insane. He lost about 12 hogs going into the back end of the base.
Yeah, definitely getting really unlucky with those spring traps. The base building here definitely doing a good job. Hogs and miners, one of the main strategies. So that's probably what the base builders are looking at when they are defending. Queen is still up. We have just burned through her ability. We don't have any spells left. Only a couple of cleanup troops. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have quite enough to push through this one.
Yeah, that queen's going to start thinning out here. The warden has actually locked onto the healers, which could allow this queen a little bit more value here to step up and grab the scatter. She does. And now at this point, she's not taking a whole lot of damage. She'll kind of just coast along here, but with only 16 seconds left to go, I don't think she's going to be able to get any more value for Reno here. Really nice try. We had a couple of questions in chat as well that I wanted to go ahead and answer. What is Trovo? So Trovo is a brand new streaming service that is still in soft beta at the moment. I believe the company that owns it is Tencent, same company that owns Supercell. So there are some big plans for Trovo over there. If you guys have not already checked me out over there, feel free to pop on over there and drop me a follow. If you could, I would greatly appreciate it. But we got another live. Why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Yeah, it's going to be Num coming in here, and this is the attack that I love to see: a Queen charge Lalo or a Sui Lalo. Also, you know, that would float my boat too. But Queen is going to be coming in from 12 o'clock here. Looks like that King with that terrible skin going to be coming in, doing a little bit of funneling too. Rage will need to go down on the Queen. No. Nope, it looks like the queen is going to be able to push through. I thought we would need to use a rage there to get through the royal champion. I don't think that funnel's quite been set. Is she going to loop around the wall to that cannon here?
I think she is. I don't think there's anything to force her left, and she is going to go right towards that cannon. So now, again, there's going to have to be a little bit of an adaptation to this plan. And one of the things that we might see here, well, again, I'm not the best Lalo attacker, but we might see him kind of force into the town hall here with the Lalo diving into the base.
Yeah, it's always a risky play when your queen doesn't step up and do what you need her to do, because obviously that town hall is going to need to be activated for those balloons to get on it. And right now, he's obviously just looking to try and pick up the percent. Maybe a little bit of a misplay, putting that royal champion straight into a single target Inferno on the bottom section of the base. But we do pull the clan castle troops. It is a lava hound and an ice golem, which is going to hold up the queen for a little bit here. And things really not going Num's way.
He is actually going to send in that Stone Slimer there from the 9 o'clock side to try and grab a little bit of extra percentage, as well as maybe set the funnel. And here comes the Lava Hounds straight into the Town Hall here. And both of the Lava Hounds going to pick up a ton of Black Mines diving into the base. That's exactly what this defender wanted to see, some OP base building here. And now he's just going to be fighting to try and save the 2-star. Tornado Trap spinning those loons around, but eventually they should dive in and grab this Town Hall. Will the Warden ability keep them alive? It will. But now he's pretty much out of spells at this point. Only one haste spell, and those loons taking a lot of splash damage, and there they go.
Yeah, that was definitely a rough one. I don't know if you saw it, but the queen at the bottom section of the base, Num, actually dropped a freeze spell down on the single, but it was a split second too late, and that queen got burned through. And if that freeze had been slightly earlier, I think the queen may have stepped up and grabbed that eagle artillery. Would it have changed this attack? I don't know, but it could have picked up a few more percent points at least.
Yeah, and judging by the way the Lalo was set in, I don't even think he was planning on getting the Lalo anywhere near the Town Hall, which would make a whole lot of sense. Again, that Town Hall can be pretty devastating to your Lalo, especially if you're trying to get it in early there. And he is going to force... Was it a force close or just a normal? I think it was a normal end there. 78% 2-star. Really nice try. And was that the final hit of this war? It was, which means that it's going to be the win for Sway Esports by a star, 81%. They actually had less percent than Double Barrel. Double Barrel getting a little unlucky in this war.
Yeah, definitely. Helga, the savior here, bringing in that triple. Really nice attack from her. Yeah, it's going to give them an 11-star to 10-star win right there.
Oh, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and jump straight over to the other war and see if they have spun. And now we've got a bit of a waiting period between both of the wars here. Again, both of these wars are a best of 2 format, so we're going to be looking at the scores from both of these wars here. and then we're going to be calculating them together, and that will decide the winner for this event here.
Yep. I think because it's just going to be about half an hour from now, right, until this one gets going.
Just
Cool.
about.
I'm gonna jump off for now because I'm gonna do a stream of my own. I'm gonna be covering some Alpha League stuff, the final hour of Qualifier 3, our last qualifier. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me on the stream, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you,
Oh
everyone,
yeah.
from my regulars in my stream coming through, showing JGG some support. He's a great guy. Like I said, give him a follow if you've not already. Drop that sub as well. In fact, let me just do this as we're finishing.
Yeah, but
Wait
again,
for
shout
this
out
to
to Style for
load.
dual casting with me here. It's actually been a pleasure. For those of you who don't know, I don't do a ton of dual casting, and I'm trying to get more involved into it. I actually made these overlays this morning, funny enough, but it's like super fun to try and get involved with this kind of dual casting. We got a sub. Clash Style, thanks for the gifted sub there to Rudes, getting himself in on the orangey most there. I probably should at this point make some nice ones. We'll see what I can do. But again, Style, thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to continue our coverage, and again, for those of you who want to check out some 1v1 action, Style will be live very shortly with the Alpha League qualifiers.
Yep.
It's going to be a bunch of fun.
Yeah, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for having me on, and I'm sure we'll be dual streaming again very, very soon.
Absolutely.
Sweet. I'll
All
catch you later,
right.
man.
Have a go, man. All right, so that was Clash with Style. For those of you who don't know, another content creator, fantastic guy. Let me go ahead and make sure that I've got all my other overlays working here. And we're going to take a bit of an intermission. Let me go ahead and try and get this working here. Let's see if it'll work, maybe. I think I know what I need to do. There it is. There it is. Now we are back with the overlays there. Froze just a second there. But we're going to go ahead and jump straight back over to these wars here. But I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of an intermission here. Going to work on a couple of overlays and get some things set up for this next war that's going to kick off. We've got 2 more wars left to go here. And again, huge shout out to Clash with Style for joining me today. It was an absolute blast. We're going to continue that coverage and finish these last 2 wars here. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to the poster stream. I'll be back in about 5 minutes time once I've got everything set up. But we will see you guys for the next war. All right, everybody, we are back. I've gotten everything set up, ready to go. And let's go ahead and jump straight back over to the war screen. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Just had to work on a couple of overlays, make sure that everything was set correctly here. And we've got another follow coming in over on Twitch. We got AKA Outraged. Thank you so much for the follow over on there. Again, for those of you guys who are just joining us here, we had Clash with Styles on the stream a little bit earlier. We were doing some dual casting of both of these wars. Huge shout out to him for not only popping by and helping me cast these wars, but also gifting the 2 subs. You absolute gamer, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. How was I not already followed? Gotta love it. But yeah, Clash of Style joining me for a couple of these wars here. We've got one more left to go. For those of you who don't know and are just joining us, we had the first war go in here. We had Knight Riders not able to pick up the win there against Kerala Kings. Kerala Kings winning on the percentage there. And I probably should take a screenshot of this. And then, actually, I'm going to do that now. We go ahead and jump over here. There we are. We're going to go ahead and keep this on the screen for all of you in chat. You guys can feel free to get a little bit of fame there. We're going to go ahead and post this result in the Discord here to make sure that we've got all the stuff set in stone. This cough still not going away. It's just that bit of annoying. You know, it's got to be at least a little annoying. What are your thoughts on the new friendly challenge update for the new setup? It is the best update since Clan Wars. That's genuinely how I feel about it. I think it is literally the best change since Clan Wars has been released. That's where I'm at in terms of mechanic changes. Not Town Hall 13, not Town Hall 12, not all the new stuff, new super troops, new AI, new World Champion. This update is huge. I am so excited for it. I mean, because think about it. These wars would be so much easier for the players. They can focus more on actually doing well and not focusing on, oh, I got to train the army to get it done, or, oh, I got to do this, or I got to do that. Now, friendly wars are a lot more scrimmage-like rather than actually having to involve resources. It is huge. It's going to make so many other people learn attack strats. Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like you won't be burning an army. You can just train whatever you want and then just use that. It's going to be... Oh, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for it. It's going to be amazing. So we've got a little while before we see any live attacks going, but I'm going to go ahead and catch up on chat, and I'll give a shout out to a couple of you guys. Those of you who don't know, with the dual casting streams, I try and focus on bouncing off the other commentators rather than mainly focusing on the chats here. We got Clash with Rahul Style, sir. Big fan. Thank you so much for popping by. Shout out to you. I believe, are you one of the players in this war? Possibly so. Let me go ahead and... make sure I got everything. Let's see who is in the chat here. We've got Fraser. We had a couple of regulars from Clash with Style stream. We got Rudes in here as well. Shout out to Parkesh, absolute legend over on YouTube there. We got 8 people watching on YouTube. We've got 9 over on Twitch, and we've got 1 over on Trovo. Huge shout out to you guys. We'll go ahead and make sure that I've got everything set in stone here. And yeah, huge shout out to all the people who were here a little bit earlier. I apologize for not paying a ton of attention to the chats, but again, bouncing off Clash with Style a little bit, it's just a ton of fun really commentating these attacks and paying attention to these wars and highlighting what these attackers can do. It's just an absolute blast. A Stickman, what's a shout out for his dad that left 10 years ago who might never come back? Shout out to your dad, Stickman. I'm sure he's doing wonderful getting his cigarettes or getting milk or whatever dads say they're doing whenever they leave forever. I have no clue. Geez, that's I got a bit dark there. I apologize. Let's see what we're looking at here. It's going to make people's attack strategies like way quicker. Exactly. And I mean, I think it's just going to help in general because especially with these 1v1 tournament styles like the Alpha League, for instance, it's very much now going to be focused on, look, guys, you know, you can use whatever you want. The entire game's library of attack strategies and armies and whatnot. I mean, it's going to work for it. You can use whatever you want. Like, I think it's going to allow for more flexibility and really going to be more of a testament to player strengths because with 1v1 tournaments, you're really just going with whatever army you have trained and then you're going in, that's your attack. Whereas now you can have a bit of a scouting period before you go in and you can make an entire army for the base before you attack. Not only that, but friendly wars now have gotten a lot more easy and you're not investing as many of your resources into actually trying to play in the wars. Dibbo is one of the strongest players of Knight Riders. That is fair. I think last war we were looking at a triple for Kerala Kings. We had nothing but 2 stars from Knight Riders, but hopefully they can come back with this second war and win here. Again, we're going to go ahead and look at the results from the previous war. It was really, really close, but Knight Riders, Kerala Kings just barely able to inch ahead on the percentage there. They're about they're exactly 6% total damage ahead, and that's about it. Let's see, big fan of your Big Sensor. Your hairstyle is fire. Thank you so much. Much appreciated to you. Thanks for tuning in for these awesome wars. And here we go. 20 seconds left in prep day. And again, we've got a little while to go before we see any live attacks. It's going to be about 20 minutes from now before we see any action. But I will keep you updated with the Sway Esports versus Double Barrel War. They have about 5 minutes left for their prep. And again, we're going to be focusing heavily on the Kerala Kings versus Knight Riders war. But after this war has concluded and we know the result and we know the winner, we are going to then jump over to the Sway Esports versus Double Barrel War. Let's see. Our players are coming out in international levels NYC to C. I don't fully understand what you mean. Do you mean people are joining the stream to watch the war? Because if that's the case, then I really do appreciate you for tuning in, and I appreciate you for letting me stream this war here. Now, before I get moving here, I also want to load up some other overlays while we're just go ahead and waiting for this. You guys can enjoy the music here. Is there music playing? Is it kind of playing? Kind of. Okay, it is. Let's see. Soon you will also join the international tournaments you want to play. Do you mean the ESL style tournaments? Those are definitely a lot more of those are starting to come up. And honestly, if you're not already involved in any kind of ESL stuff, I highly recommend it. It is a ton of fun. As well as if you're looking to apply for the WCL, check Twitter and look at their Twitter page. You'll find the link to join their Discord there, and you can apply for Season 7. Oh, from your clan? That's awesome. Well, huge shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, let me see if I can get this second overlay done. I want to go ahead and set up the other war here. I wasn't actually prepared to do 2 wars today. I thought I would only be doing 1, but we've got both of these wars going on at the same time. You are also a COC YouTuber. Shout out to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure you've got some fantastic content. So let me go ahead and switch a couple of things really quickly here. And make sure that I've got all these overlays set up and ready to go for the other war. Again, we've got about 20 minutes before the attacks come in. That just allows both of these players to kind of plan just a little bit here and kind of formulate what they want to do for their attacks. It also gives us time to talk a little bit about the update. Now, I'm curious, for everyone in the chat, so far out of the sneak peeks that we have seen, what are some of the changes that you are most excited for? And in all honesty, I think I've already said it in general, but I am the most excited for those changes that we're going to see to the friendly challenges and the friendly wars. I think that's going to make a huge impact to the competitive scene and kind of allow players to learn more of these complex attack strategies rather than trying to just stick with what they know. Let me go ahead and make sure that I've gotten this inputted correctly. There we go. This should be correct. Focus up and see if I can get this working for you guys. Why is that not correct? Oh, Helga, do you mind? Hold on, I think I'm good. Yeah, never mind, it's all good. I was gonna say, do you mind putting Sway Esports to a public war log, but it's fine. We're good to go. Here we go. Dibbo is your COC teacher. He's an awesome person. He does seem like he definitely knows what he is doing. Huge shout out to him. Let's see if I can get these overlays fixed up before this war starts here. And again, for those of you who are just joining us or possibly just tuning in, this is a 5v5 best of 2, which means that both of the wars are basically going to add on and roll over to each other. Both of the scores are going to roll over to, and then those scores will be added together, and then the winner will be concluded from that. Your sound is coming too low. So far I'm reading it. It's pretty loud. It's pretty loud in my OBS. Maybe try turning up the volume just a little bit there. I don't want to break anyone's ears because right now I'm pretty high up there. I'm hitting the peaks almost. So it could be something on your end. Maybe turning up the volume just a little bit might fix that for you. All right. But let's go ahead and get the other thing up here. Now it's fine. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's the thing. When I move this microphone away from my mic, it's gonna sound a little quiet. It's like all the way up here, but then when I pull it a little bit closer, it'll sound a little bit better. I was just moving it to be able to see my my phone screen down there. But let's see. Again, at the moment, just setting up this this overlay really quickly here before this next war start. Going for a smoke. All right, sounds good. Have fun with that. All right. There we go. You're excited for the new Super Troops. Yeah, it's been told so far in the news tab. I can actually take a look at it right now in the bottom page right here. We've got, don't worry, the best is yet to come. If you haven't heard already, we're introducing 2 new Super Troops. That's going to be big. I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Here it is. Let's see. For me, it's hard because you're doing streams in Hindi, so only Indian and Bangladesh and Pakistani can language. Yeah, it's very different. But I think that adds to that. You can understand but can't talk properly. That's really good. If you can understand English and kind of, know what people are saying whenever they're speaking, that's a really good start to stick with. But in all honesty, I mean, those international content creators being, content creators from India, from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, and that they're important for the community, because think about how many Indian Clash of Clans players there are. There's tons of people that I know. There's a lot of people who play in King Jeffrey who are Indian. And it's like the more kind of content creators that are making content for them, like people like Summit 007. He's a good example of that. He's doing some really nice work for the Indian Clash of Clans community, and it also just adds on to the hype. Really, that's the whole point of the media, of streaming, is just building that hype for clans and just for the players. That's the whole reason we cover these wars, is just because we want to build that hype around the league, and we want to showcase some fantastic attacks from both sides here. Because in all honesty, I mean, we've got some pretty solid attackers on both sides. Let's go ahead and jump over to the war here. Again, if you guys could possibly keep the chat in English, that would be great, so that way I can kind of understand what you guys are saying. Again, you don't exactly have to, but would greatly appreciate it over on my end. But I know you guys are all in the same clan, so you're just talking with each other. All right, now time to update rosters really quick. There we go. Thank you, Duraj. I appreciate it, man. Again, I'm going to butcher your guys' names, and I apologize. But I have not, I don't have that international tongue just yet. Still working on it. We're getting there. All right. Go. Again, I'm just doing a couple of overlay changes for the other war, just to basically have those stats on for you guys, so that way we can switch over to it whenever we need to. And I wasn't entirely sure that if I would be streaming the other war, but since we have a clan in there, might as well look to stream it just a little bit here. Huge shout out to Jeff for popping the follow over on Twitch. Much appreciated, my dude. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, sometimes we chat in Hindi. It's difficult for you as well. Yeah, it's fine. No worry. No worries there. You guys can do your thing. Go. What league is this? This is the WCL Champions preseason. So this isn't exactly a league war, but this is basically just a little bit of a, it's kind of a showing to the league and the format that they're going to be using, which is that 5v5 esports format here. So this is just the kind of preseason of the actual league, the WCL Champions League, which is, again, 5v5 esports format, which is You know, basically 5 players, 1 attack per player. Clan with the most stars wins. If they're tied on stars, it goes to percentage. And now what's interesting about these 2 wars specifically is that they are a best of 2, which means that we're going to take the score of the first war and add it to the second war, and then we're going to take the total of both of those wars, and then the winner will be decided from there. If a clan has more stars, they will be declared the winner. If both clans are tied on stars, it will go down to damage percentage. So far, both clans can have a maximum of 200% overall destruction or average destruction in both of the wars if they get 2 perfect wars. But right now, the first war going the way of Kerala Kings. Oh, not this war. Not that one. Wrong war. This one right here. So it was going in favor of Kerala Kings here. They're up ahead by 6% exactly. So far, Knight Riders just ever so slightly behind. It's still really, really close. So excited to see what this what this second war is going to do for us. Let's go ahead and pop up a triple here from that war just to give us a bit of eye candy before we get in here. Here were the E-Dragons getting it done for us at Town Hall 13 here for this attacker here from Kerala Kings. Again, this cough is not going to go away. No, it is not Corona, but is it annoying? Absolutely. It is absolutely the most annoying thing. We've really just got so many changes to weather going on over here that it's an absolute nightmare. I don't know if you guys were here earlier, but lightning literally struck the building right next to me. And so it was incredibly loud. It shut off one of my monitors for a second too. It's insane. Same tournament I also organized, but with small prize money. I'm a poor YouTuber. That's fair. Your hometown? Yeah, this is my hometown. My hometown of well, I'm not gonna reveal my town, but I live a little bit north of Houston, down in good old Texas in the United States. Leagues seem to be using 2 war formats a little more. Do you have a surge protector? Yeah, I have a surge protector on all my stuff. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm way ahead of you, Jeff. Don't worry, man. But yeah, I've seen a lot of leagues kind of using this best of 2 format, and I like it. Although it's a little bit more time of play, I think it's a better showing of which clan really is the better clan, because you never know, one clan could have an off war, and with this format, it kind of allows them to have that bit of a, you know, a try again chance, or like an opportunity to maybe, you know, give it another shot. And I really like how they calculate the best of 2, because they could do a best of 3 where it's like first clan to 2 wins is the winner. But I think the way they're adding this one together kind of adds together the overall perspective of the actual match itself. So it's a really, really nice format. I'm a big fan of it. Let's see, you were supposed to be on shift to Los Angeles, but due to Corona, it couldn't be happened. Yeah, the coronavirus has stopped a whole lot of things from going through and happening, which is just a shame, really. I mean, would love to see more stuff going on. The ESL Mobile Open canceled and moved online because of Corona, and that's going to be happening, I think, this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. That could be this Sunday, but yeah, it really is a shame. I mean, especially when you've got some of the best clans in the world, or in North America, competing in those tournaments there. But here we go. We've got about 7 minutes left to go of planning from both of these clans here, and I believe Knight Riders are going to be the ones to kick us off here with the next hit to go in, and hopefully we'll see some really nice 3 stars. Again, Knight Riders are technically behind, but they are not behind by a whole lot here. They still have a really nice opportunity to win this war. Is this the last match? This is the final match this is the final war of this match. This is a best of 2 format. We had the first war go in. Again, we have the stats on the screen for you right here. This was the results of the last war. Kerala Kings, both clans at 10 stars, but Kerala Kings 6% ahead. So Kerala Kings holding that little slight bit of an edge against Knight Riders at the moment. So hopefully we'll see a really nice, good second war that will hopefully carry out, and we'll see some pretty cool stuff. You join my Discord server. Name is Rahul. Thank you so much for popping by. That is probably the best place to get notified when I go live. Every single time I go live, I always post an announcement going, hey, we're live. Feel free to join in. I try and like every now and then like kind of pop into the chat, maybe say hi every now and then. And honestly, the Discord is probably the best way to get in contact with me. That's how you can, you know, if you have any things you want to share with me, or if you want some help with something or whatever, that's the best place to at me. Now, I wouldn't entirely recommend you just DM me with hi. I'm most likely not going to respond because, again, I just don't have the time to message a bunch of people about a bunch of stuff. But feel free to just say hi, maybe be nice a little bit, and then just tell me what you want. And we'll be good to go. But all right, we got 5 minutes to kill. We've got the claim flags popping up already. Not going to click on any of the bases because, again, if I was to click on any of the bases on the Friendly War home team, it would burn the clan castle. So I need to be a little bit careful here. Let's see. Thoughts on the meta changes with the new update. Let's go ahead and run through it just a little bit here. The lightning spell changes. Huge fan. Let's see. We got Clash with Rahul. Thanks for the sub. Much appreciated. How's my college life going? Living in a dorm. No, I live in an apartment off college, but it's going well. It's going pretty good. But let's pay attention to these quality of life changes. So the custom friendly challenge armies, absolutely love it. The improved town hall experience, I actually really like this one as well because it encourages people to basically go up in town hall and kind of progress through the game. Now, granted, some players may rush a little bit, but I think as long as they're upgrading their troops enough, they should be okay. The balance changes with the golem. I think the training cost is just, lower training cost is huge. That's just great all around. The reduced healing time of all heroes is also a nice change because, hey, you've got less time you got to wait for your armies. We've also got the maximum storage for the loot cart. This really rewards players who have been away for so long. I think it'll encourage more people to jump back into the game after a while because their loot cart will sit with, at Town Hall 13, 16 million of each if it just sits there, which is amazing. What's my age? I am 19 years of age. I'm a young dude. Very, very young guy. But we also got some storage capacity for return resources. So basically everyone's just getting, you're just saving more resources. Now the Builder Hall changes, they're okay. I think they're all right. I don't play Builder Hall a ton, but to see a couple of changes there is really nice because it kind of shows that they're still focusing on it. They've got some changes there. Now, the additional game changes, improved experience for returning players. I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure it means something pretty cool. And now we've got when saving donation requests, the game also includes troop spells and siege machines. That's pretty good. The season challenges changes have been a bit balanced. That's also fantastic there. Love to see that. The Grand Warden AI improvements. That is also a big one. It is good to see the Grand Warden getting those reworks because, let's be honest, it really is necessary. FC and Friendly War armies costing no time or resources is going to be huge. Absolutely. We got a hiccup over on Trovo as well. Thanks for popping by. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. But yeah, we've got the removal of the air mine glitch that's happening where they kind of travel across the map and kill something. It's good to see that that's getting rid. They're going to get rid of that there. They're fixing the troops, extending the jump spells via rage spells and whatnot. Scatter shots now run out of ammunition. That's also really cool. Look at that attack speed reduction. They've reduced it by 0.3 of a second. That is a tiny margin. Someone with like 800 IQ sitting behind the supercell counter like, look guys, this is important. We need it. Wall wrecker pathing is improved. That's a big one as well. And then the possibility of including wrong clan members in a war. Now, this one is huge because for those of you who don't know, if you are a streamer and you're looking to, say, stream some wars and whatnot, if you were to join the clan as they're still searching for an opponent and the other team accepts, it's going to actually spin that account that joined, the streamer's account that joined, into the war and mess things up there. So it's good to see that change because it's important. It was a glitch in the game that they were able to pinpoint and fix there. User interface changes. Let's see what we got going. Prevent opening of the war screen during CWL. That's a good one as well if you're not Elder. Time left info added to the builder base friendly challenges. That's good. Time left into the builder base replays. Quick donations of any normal troop. That's just convenient because if somebody, say, has sneaky goblins but they want normal goblins in their CC, you can still donate those. Let's see. Add a sound effect when toggling the Grand Warden to air or ground. Okay. Show the number of unseen offers in the treasure tab and in the offer tab in the shop. Not only that, but we're also getting the creator codes added to the shop menu, so we're not going to forget any of the creator boost there, which is huge. I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place, because the amount of times I've forgotten to input that creator boost, man, it's terrible. Don't worry, the best is yet to come. If you haven't already heard, introducing 2, not 1, but 2 new super troops in the next update. It's going to be cool. Looking forward to it, but here we go. We got Barmy in the chat. How you doing, Barmy? Good to see you, man. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. It's a good old, what is it, like about 8 p.m. or so? Over where you're at? Witch and Baby Dragon? Possibly. The Baby Dragon, I think, is a yes, but about the Witch, I'm not sure. So yeah. Do you have a code? I do not. Sadly, I do not have a code. I'm not a part of the Supercell Creators Program. I don't have enough numbers on Twitch or YouTube. Darian did he confirm it as a witch? I did not hear about that. Just watching some footy. That's awesome. It's good to see that it's returned as well. A lot of football leagues over in Europe are starting up again, which again, huge plus for all the football fans out there, including my brother. He's big into the Tottenham Hotspurs over in England. But here we go. We've got Kerala Kings going to start this war off for us. They're going to be bringing a bit of a Yeti smash. We've got 2 jump spells and a blimp. Now that blimp's going to go straight in here for that single target Inferno. He wants to funnel it as great as possible here. He's going to get that blimp straight in over that single. He's not going to use a rage. Knows he just wants to get the single out of the way. Not going to be too concerned about trying to rage through because he doesn't need it. He's going to clear that entire compartment without a rage. And here comes the Queen Walk. But no, the healers are dropped a little bit early there, but they should switch to the Queen. They are going to switch to the Queen. But one is going to pick up a Black Mine. Not ideal there. He's used 3 of the healers. Does he only have 3? I think he only has 3 healers. I don't know if that's part of the plan or a slight mistake here. I think he had 4 healers. Yeah, he had 4 healers. Never mind. So everything's moving in. Hold on. But here we go. Queen is going to be diving in with the Yetis and the Bowlers. They are going to grab that Town Hall as they path towards the center. Ward ability does get popped. Could it be slightly early here? And could these troops go down to the Town Hall before the blast? Could it take them down? And it looks like it's going to. There go all of the Bowlers. They are gone, and now everything's starting to thin out. Things pathing outside the walls here. And it's not looking like this one's going to go through. The spell's a little bit late there, which means that those Yeti Mites will get the Inferno there. But again, I think there's just a little bit too much in this base for these troops to handle. There's not really any way for any of his troops to step in and get the Eagle. Now, wait a minute. He does have the Royal Champion still left alive. Here comes the RC up at this top side here, dropping in the Ice Golem in front of her. It's going to do a little bit of tanking, but not a whole lot here. I would imagine the RC would come down by this 6 o'clock side and deal with that Eagle and get that damage out of the way. But RC is coming from this 11 o'clock side. And so she's going to dive in here and deal with this single Inferno. Does have a free spell, and so is going to be forced to freeze the Inferno to keep her alive. He doesn't freeze the Inferno. Oh no, he's lost his Royal Champion. I don't know if he spotted that he was going to need to freeze that Inferno. And this is definitely now going to be a defense for Knight Riders. Exactly what they need going into this war here. Which is confirmed. Okay, that's awesome. Good to see that, man. Ethan, don't worry. I'm sad too about the code. Let's see, what do you think about the Super Troops? Super Baby Dragon is going to be interesting. Super Witch might be OP. Might. I hope they balance it a specific way. I'm interested to see like what it's exactly going to do. I think it'll be really cool. But yeah, this Warden Walk, this Warden's still going to carry out a little bit. He's going to be taking down a couple of buildings, but he's going to go down to that Eagle after he gets this Archer Tower. Really nice try here. It is going to end at about 81%. Not bad at all to start this war, but definitely not the triple that they were looking for going into this one. Really nice try, but this is going to be a defense. All right, now we're going to be seeing an attack from Knight Riders again. This is a best of 2 war, so right now this score from this war is going to get rolled over into the second war. Keep the chat English, please. Yes, I would greatly appreciate if you could keep the chat English, just so that way I can make sure nobody's saying stuff they shouldn't be saying. So I would much appreciate that. All right, here we go. We've got a live going in from the Knight Riders side. Let's see what they can do going into this base here. We saw this base get hit a little bit earlier on stream. I believe they used the same base in the last war, so they were confident on the defense that it held, so they're going to use it again. And let's see what they can do here. Going to be starting with that Warden Walk up by this 9 o'clock side here to kind of funnel out these buildings out of the way. Just clear them through. Make sure that they're out of the way so that way the Yetis don't get pathed to the outside there and they go straight for that core of the base. He's got those 4 quad ground expos in the center that are going to do a lot of damage to the Yetis as they dive through. Now, he does have the blimp here. Might opt in to use the blimp for the Town Hall and force those Yetis up by the top side to then grab those scatter shots. And then we may see the bats coming from the opposite side here. We got a Yeti bat forgot to mention there. King is going to come in at this 12 o'clock side, create a funnel, and then here come all of the Yetis diving straight in towards this base. Here go the bowlers. Here goes the king and the queen. Warden following in. We got a couple of loons to step up here to not only grab a couple of seeking air mines, but also possibly do a little bit of damage as they dive into the base. Warden ability is going to get activated. That blimp taking 3 seeking air mines, but still going to get to the core and get it down, and his troops have pathed south. Now I'm pretty sure he wanted his troops to path north here and go for those scatter shots, but now he's going to have to adapt his plan just a little bit with how everything has forced themselves to the bottom side of the base. Everything's still moving through here. That enemy dragon in the clan castle going to be a little bit of a problem, but not too much of a problem. They're going to be able to deal with that and then force their way to the outside. And now at this point, we might even see these bats come in from this top side alongside the Royal Champion. Now they're going to actually go in and support the main army. That's a good call there, and that's going to allow all those bats to kind of wrap around the defenses and help the main army get some good value going into the back end of this base. With that scatter shot being at the back end, I don't believe he's got enough to get it. And oh no, the eagle, it's locking on to the bats. He freezes it, but it's not early enough, which means that all of the bats are going to go down to the eagle. And that is unfortunate. You can kind of see what he wanted here. He wanted his troops to go up. He didn't want to force them down. But really, it was just this one building here that messed everything up for him. It allowed all those Yetis to break through those 2 walls to the outside, kind of path away from where he needed them. Is going to end with a decent percentage here. Still has the queen and the warden here, a free spell and the queen ability to get through the rest of this base. Is your brother watching the Spurs game? I think he is right now. But here we go. Everything diving in here. Warden is going to get locked onto by the eagle. Queen's going to get a little bit more damage. Now, we saw an 81% from the last raid. And in order to get ahead here, we're going to need to see a higher percentage. But it's not going to end with more than 81. It's going to be 79. Really, really close. But not going to get it done. Just a bad attack. I wouldn't say a bad attack, but maybe that funnel just wasn't well established enough to force his troops into the town hall there. He could have probably used the blimp elsewhere. Possibly. Maybe. And again, hindsight is always the better option here. So we really can't judge any of these attackers going in, because in all honesty, they can look at the raid right after it's done. It's like, oh yeah, maybe I should have done that. That probably could have been the better option there. But you know, they just opted, hey, let's just not do that. You can't just hope your troops will go to the scatter. Yeah, that's true. You do have a point there. You do have a point. All right. But now we're going to be seeing a live hit come in from the Kerala King side. Let's see what they're going to do for their next hit. So far, we've seen a lot of Yeti Smash and a lot of Hybrid. We did see a Queen Charge Lalo, but that one didn't go the attacker's way in the last war. We saw those Lava Hounds going, or the Queen, rather, bouncing to the outside rather than go for the Town Hall. But I'd love to see some variety in some of the attacks that we're going to see today. I think it would just be awesome to see here. Again, these attacks should be rolling in any second now. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this new update is going to shake up the meta. I think it's going to be really, really cool. This is a super fun format. It is. It is a really fun format. It's fast. It's quick. You know, it allows to, I think it's the real testament of which clan can put up the better stars and which clan has the better attackers. But here we go. We got Alex going in here. Let's see what he can do. Bringing in the Yeti Smash. Might even start with a Warden Walk at one side of this base here. Very interesting base. He's got 3 Expos and 2 Scatter Shots all in one quadrant of the base. That is an absolute nightmare for any kind of Queen Charge diving in there. But he's got that Warden, has a blimp for the Town Hall, and now I think I see the path he's going for with the Yetis here. Going to start with a Warden Walk over by 7. Yetis in over by 9. With a couple of witches there to kind of step up and grab a little bit of extra value. And now this Warden's going to dive in here. He's going to grab a very nice funnel here for these troops. Those Yeti Mites going to get that Archer Tower down, which is huge. And now he's got a very nicely set funnel for these Yetis that will eventually dive into this base here. So he's delaying them just a little bit, wants to make sure that he's got everything set up properly. Warden's going to step up and grab that bomb tower there. Here comes an Ice Golem. Here come a couple of Yetis. Can they pull the Warden? They do. Here comes the King. Here comes the Queen and a couple more bowlers. Now, those bowlers are going to help step up and get some nice skip value going into the base, but it's really the Yeti's longevity that's important here. Here comes the blimp here to try and help get that Town Hall out of the way. He wants those Yetis to stay away from it, Now, the CC will come out. It's going to be 2 ice golems and a bunch of archers. These Yetis are trying to beat through the wall to get to the clan castle. He needs his queen to step up and take them down. They do beat through the wall, but the town hall goes down, which should force those Yetis deeper into the base, but it doesn't. Man, that clan castle lured all of the Yetis to the right side, which also forced them towards the queen. Really nice job with that clan castle there. Probably would have been a better option to deal with them on the outside, and that means that all of the Yetis are going to go to the exact opposite side of the base that he wanted them to go. Are you COVID? No, I'm not. I'm not COVID positive. Don't worry, I've been tested. It's not the cough is not COVID positive. It's just basically seasonal stuff. It's about it because the weather's changing really rapidly over here in Texas, and so I'm not the only one with the cough at the moment. It's just I don't know. Probably get it checked out again because it's been here for a while, but it's just a part of the channel now, honestly. But here we go. Queen is going to step up. She's going to get a little bit of extra value before going down. World champion has gone in, but she's going to get burned up by that single, and now it's just a matter of grabbing as much percentage as possible just to extend their lead. Alex hoping that he can get at least above the 80% mark with some of these hits here. And now he's just going to kind of let these troops kind of coast through and get whatever value they can. Might even drop a minion up by that storage. Nope, going to opt in drop it by that builder hut. That's a good call there. A couple of barbarians at this bottom side going to get that mine out of the way. So overall, I mean, it didn't go too south for him. Granted, a lot of the Yetis went to the opposite side there, but he's still going to end at a decent percentage if time permits it here. I think he's going to run out of time before his troops thin out, in all honesty, but he is going to clear 70%. It could possibly clear 80. We've got another live going in. I guess we'll go ahead and hop out of this one, and then we'll go straight over to the other one here. All right, but here we go. We got Alien going in. Hashtag stay home, stay safe. Love it. Gotta love it. We got another Yeti Smash. A lot of these players have been using this Yeti Smash. They're very confident that, hey, this Yeti Smash can get it done on these bases here. We've got 2 ground expos. We've got 2 air expos waiting around by that town hall side. And here we go. Wardenlock starting by this 8 o'clock side here to kind of clear through a couple of buildings and set the funnel for the Yetis that will eventually, I'm guessing, dive straight in towards that eagle. Now this Warden, is he meant to step up here and grab that gold storage as well? I'm guessing that's what he's going to be waiting for before he gets his Yetis in. Warden should path to the air defense and then eventually should path to the gold storage and take it down. Might even opt in to send in the Yetis a bit earlier if that Warden accidentally takes down the Wiz Tower. He's not going to, so he's going to take his time. Here comes the King. Here come the Yetis. Not going to take down that gold storage. Not a huge issue. I think he's noticed that now. Could that enemy King be a bit of a pathing issue for the Yetis and the bowlers? The bowlers might walk here, but those Yetis should dial back in and dive straight into the base here, and there they go. Every single one of the Yetis taking that jump with the King, and like I said, a couple of the bowlers are going to path to the outside here. Now, everything is moving in pretty nicely. We do have a Lava Hound out of the clan castle, but that clan castle not going to lure any of the troops away from their original destination here. Hog Riders are moving through with the main army. We've got another raid spell down. Queen and the enemy, or Queen on the enemy Lava Hound. She's going to do a bit of damage there. The poison spell has already been dropped, which means that the Queen's now going to be stuck on these lava pups for a little bit. He's going to a little bit thinned out near this town hall, but the town hall will fall to all of the Yetis near this back end here. And now at this point, because that world champion came in from the right side, nothing to go in and clear that scatter. He's going to have to reroute back to that scatter shot to clear it. Queen's going to take a lot of damage and be forced to use her ability up by this top side by the town hall compartment. She will get away from that Inferno, but not before she's burned up by the cannon. Oh, the cannon goes down. So she's going to be alive just a little bit longer here, but that Archer Tower will finish her off. Really nice try. But again, I don't think this one's going to be a triple, not because of the troops he has left, but simply because of the time. Even if he had the troops to get this one done. What is the King doing? The King reroutes to go take down the scatter shot. What a legend. He's going to freeze the Inferno. What a... Oh my gosh, that King. I said this wouldn't be a triple because the time, it could still be a time fill. And with that Inferno being alive, I don't think it's going to happen. The world champion didn't have the time necessary to get through it. But this one's going to end at a lot higher of a percentage than I had originally thought here. Really nice stuff by the King. He's going to step up, clear that Inferno, or clear the Inferno out of the way. Or he's going to get out of the Inferno range and then wrap around it and clear through the space here. Man, this cough, man. Dude, it's so annoying. What's up? What? Okay, well, give me about, let's say like 30 minutes or so. Should be done. But here we go. Yetis are diving through. And again, he got close. Got into the 95%, but just not able to step up and clear the base here. So decent percentage there, and that's going to help them on their percentage game. They're going to be ahead by 2%. It's not enough to win the war if this comes down to a tie. Again, they were behind by 6% overall destruction. So Knight Riders, realistically, we need to see a couple of triples from them this war, and that's going to be what they're hoping for here. 25 minutes left to go. Now we're going to see a hit coming in from the Kerala King side, I believe. Yes. Kerala Kings are up next to the plate. Too sleepy. It's 1 a.m. here in India. Yeah, it's very late over in India for this time, the time that was scheduled. Bit of an inconvenient time for you guys, but it definitely helps the streamers out just a little bit because of my time zone. I'm actually able to step up and cover these wars for you guys. But yeah, 25 minutes, 3 hits from both sides. That will decide the war. Let me see if I can keep you updated on the other war. All right. Still watch to the end. That's awesome. Good to hear, man. Just making sure that I've got everything set. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the other war that's going on because we have 2 wars going on simultaneously. Go ahead and switch over to the other overlay here. We have Double Barrel versus Sway Esports at the moment. And it's looking like Sway Esports hit a triple. So I'll go ahead and jump over to that and see how they're looking. But we're going to kind of keep up with that war as we're kind of progressing through this war. This war is going to be the main focus because this is the one that I was asked to cover. But we've also got that other war that's going to help. We are going to win for sure, says Helga. Oh my, the confidence is there. Is she right? So far they've started with a triple and they've got another hit going in. What are they looking at here? This hit is going to be a defense, but I think they're ahead on percentage as well. Yeah, they're ahead by about 8% on percentage. And I believe they won their first war by a star, if I'm not correct. Yeah, they won their first war 11-10. So they're ahead at the moment. They've just got to make sure that they can secure some 2 stars and maybe get some good defenses for their next wars. All right. I'm going to try and not break everyone's eardrums here with my absolutely terrible cough. But here we go. Got another hit going in from the Kerala Kings side. Let's see what they got going. We've got 1 player from Sway Esports, 4 from here and there. Gotcha, gotcha. Sounds awesome. Here we go. We got the E-Dragons. Now, we saw Wander triple last war with these E-Dragons. Can he do it again against this base? This base rocking 2 ground expos and 2 air and ground expos. Let's see what they can do against this raid. Now, this E-Dragon pathing might be straight into a sweeper, but I'm really liking the funnel that he got established with his E-Dragons over there. Here come the Loons, and here come the E-Dragons straight in. A bit of a spammy raid to start here, but he got it done last round, so let's see what he can do. E-Dragons diving straight in here. Can they step up and get the triple? They're all going to go for the Royal Champion, which means that nothing going for that Town Hall. The funnel wasn't established enough, and he's in a lot of trouble here. He has that Royal Champion in case things go wrong, and he's going to be using that possibly for this Town Hall here. He has 2 E-Dragons on that Town Hall, going to freeze the Sweeper and the he's going to freeze the Sweeper and the Inferno there. Still moving through, freezing that Inferno Tower and the Eagle. He's going to have to freeze the Town Hall. He might not get it here. He's dropped his Royal Champion at the top side, assuming he's going to get this Town Hall, and he does, just barely going to scrape that 2-star. Now, that E-Dragon is going to get fried once that single target Inferno locks onto it. It is going to get fried. Enemy Lava Hound is going to come out, but it's going to get lured away from those E-Dragons, and they're still moving through at this point. He's still got a couple of them left up. They're going to get some good chain value in on the rest of these buildings, but I think with the way this raid is gone, I don't think this one is going to be a triple, but it is going to end around the 72% 2-star range. We got Binu cheering for Kerala Kings 2. Again, the WCL Light finalists and champions for Season 6 in the WCL. Huge shout out to them. And they're going to show a bit of their stuff at Town Hall 13 for the new Champions League that's going to be starting in Season 7. Again, for those of you who don't know about that league, it is going to be a $300 prize pool for the winner. And here we go. We've got another raid straight after it. The guy just saved a 2-star. He did. He did. And here we go. We've got another raid going in. This one went in a little bit earlier. We had a Yeti blimp probably to step up and grab an Inferno. That's looking like what it did there. And now we've got the Queen Charge going straight in towards this Town Hall. Going to deal with that enemy Lava Hound. Get it out of the way. And we've got a bit of an open gap for that Queen to dive into the base here. We've got a couple of troops up at this top side. We got some sneaky goblins to do a little bit of funneling. Really nice stuff there. Enemy Queen's going to lock onto his friendly Queen. She's going to step up and take it down. And now I can kind of see where he's looking to go with this hybrid. Might send them in straight for this Town Hall. He's going to need to freeze the Town Hall if he wants to save his healers. Doesn't freeze the Town Hall. Opts in to pop the ability. That's probably a good play. Save the free spells for the hybrid diving into the base because he's not expecting his queen to live much longer after the king. Now this king might actually get some help from the main army going in to possibly save his queen here. It doesn't look like it though. He's just going to let her die. He is going to freeze the king there. That's a good call. Keep your queen alive as long as possible so that way you can dive through the base and she can help not only just diving through but also with the cleanup. Those giant bombs doing absolutely nothing because of that warden ability. Really nice job there. And that royal champion actually helping these miners step up into the base. They will dive through, take down the scatter shot. They're still moving through. We got another free spell going down on the scatter shot as it's going down. We got the Donkey Clone. Thank you so much for the follow over on Twitch. Now he's still moving through. Queen ability has been popped. Royal Champion ability is going to get burned here. Now, what's he looking like near the end of this raid? He's got a couple of miners on the outside, but I think just with the way he's thinned out here, it's not going to be a 3 and not even that high of percentage at that. He's looking at 74 with only 20 seconds left to go. Needs to rack up as much percentage as possible because realistically, they're going to need as much as they can get. But this is going to be a defense. It was a nice try, but again, the plan for the queen there, I'm not too keen on it. I think she was meant to go, it would have been a better option if you went down this way to deal with this base over here. There we go. All right. Very, very nice try, but that one is not going to go through. We've got 19 minutes left to go. Again, the war is pretty close at the moment. Knight Riders are ahead, but not ahead enough. They need to be ahead by 7% to be ahead in the overall right now. They lost their first war by 6%, which is super unfortunate. But in order to win, they're going to need to see some pretty strong stuff from their attackers here. Maybe even some good defense. Queen stuck. Yeah, we actually missed the start of that one. Let's go ahead and watch the start before we get into the next live that goes in. They got a little bit of time to do that. Let's see what happened here. Maybe the queen wasn't meant for the town hall. We got that blimp going in for that inferno. Bit of a long path for the blimp, but it's going to eventually dive in. It's going to take a mine. Is he going to drop a rage? Doesn't rage. He's comfy. Both of the Yetis going to get sprung there, but he's good. He's going to get that inferno, and then the queen comes in over here. It looks like the queen was meant to go for the town hall. I don't know where else she would be meant to go. The hybrid should go from 5 o'clock. Right, okay. That's what I'm thinking about as well. It's going 4 times. It just kind of speed through. So the queen charge set up, and this is where we join in the attack. So she was clearly going for that town hall, but then the hybrid went in from this top side here. Hybrid from 5 might have been a bit more risky though, because you don't really have a strong path for them to go. He should have sent in the siege, the king a lot sooner and sent in that hybrid. Burn the queen ability there, which he shouldn't have done either. But then again, I'm not a fan of the queen charge path because now at this point in the raid, she's useless and she has the healers on her. Ideally, you want those healers to be doing something important in the raid, not really stuck on a hero that's not doing anything for you. So and then just one just kind of thinned out a little bit. But it was a nice try. Webaballa flexing out some of those orange emotes. I gotta love those oranges. And again, shout out to all the people who have donated bits to the channel because, funny enough, we've got a couple of bit reward emotes. They're a bit funny. They're a couple of orange emojis. Nothing too special or anything like that. But I think they're just really funny, honestly. We got Helga flexing some of those Clash with Style hypes. Huge shout out to him. He was on here a bit earlier helping me cover some of these wars, and right now he's covering some alpha 1v1 qualifiers. So that one is definitely really intense, and we are probably going to host over to him after this war conclude, or after both of the wars conclude. We've got about close to, what are we looking at? We're looking at 7 stars from the Sway Esports side and 5 stars from the Double Barrel side. It looks like they've hit 1 triple and 2 starred. Now, Sway Esports are looking like they're going to... Will they possibly get another 3-star here? Could this be a 3? Maybe? It's close, but I don't think it's going to be a 3. It's going to be another defense. Really nice try. Again, this war has about 21 minutes left, so this war right in front of me is going to end before the Sway Esports war. So we'll go ahead and cover this one in the final couple of minutes, and then we'll cover the next war. Here we go. We got another live going in. We got King. Let's see what he can do against their number 1. Interesting base design. He's bringing the Yeti bats. Let's see what he can get done here. We're going to start with the Warden Walk over by this 7 o'clock side. Warden's going to do a little bit of funneling for him here. And then eventually we're going to see those Yetis dive into the base. Maybe even into this single target Inferno. But we'll see what he decides to do here. Warden going to clear through a couple of these buildings, get them out of the way, taking a little bit of time on the storage, and he's actually taking a little bit of damage. Might even opt in to rage him here to get him moving. Doesn't look like it. He's just going to let the Warden do his thing. Taking a lot of damage here, which, again, isn't ideal, but still moving through, taking down some buildings, getting them out of the way, and hopefully getting a nice setup for the Yetis. And I was right. He is going to dive straight in towards that single target Inferno, which in all honesty, I can't say that I'm not surprised, because it makes sense. Here comes the Queen. Here comes the King. All the bowlers and the Yetis diving through. King ability is going to get activated here. And we're going to see this jump spell. Or no, we don't have a jump spell. What is the plan for the Yetis? Are they just planning on beating through a wall? Doesn't matter. They're just going to go to the outside. Oh, no. A bunch of the Yeti's going to path to the outside, but he does switch to the blimp for the Town Hall. And that's what I thought he was originally going to do. He doesn't have a jump spell. Interesting play. I don't think he had a second super wall breaker either. I didn't see one go in, and that means that all of these troops are basically not even going to go for the core of the base. And so in desperation, that blimp's going to step up. It will get the Town Hall out of the way. Should get the Town Hall out of the way. Will it? It's really close. Is the Town Hall going to go down? He's going to rage the Yeti. That's a good call there. And he will get the Town Hall, but scraped it there. And only looking at 35%, so this really could hurt their percentage game here. Oh my. Where are these bats going to come in? He has a bunch of bats. He has the world champion, and he's waiting a long time to get them in, which means that that eagle is going to target the bats once they dive in, and that means that he's going to have to burn a freeze there in order to use it. Here come all the bats. Queen took down the Wiz Tower. He needs to freeze the eagle. Doesn't freeze it in time, which means that all of these bats are going to go down to the eagle. Bit of an interesting execution there, but not going to be the result he's looking at. Now he's trying to scrape the 2-star. He should have the troops to get this one done. His world champion alone should be able to step up and get it done. A couple of wizards on the outside. He's going to scrape the 2, but there goes the Corral King's percentage game. Oh my, not the result they're looking for with this raid here. Ugh. Can't say this was the greatest attack. I don't know what the plan was here, diving into this Inferno Tower compartment. Maybe he forgot a jump spell. That could be the case here. I'm not entirely sure. I'm questioning it just a little bit. Again, it is armchair coaching, so, you know, hindsight is the best sight. But, again, this one seemed like it didn't really have that well-established of a plan. Using bats, so can't manage the jump spell. Exactly. I would have switched out a rage for the jump and then had everything force in like that. But, again, not a fan of the pathing there. Interesting play. But that means that Knight Riders are going to be possibly ahead with some of their with their next hit here. Hopefully, if they can hit a decent 2-star. Because, again, Knight Riders need to be at least 7% ahead. Well, 6.01% ahead to win. Because right now it's tied on stars. It will fail. Yeah, I didn't see that one working. As soon as I saw the Yetis diving into that compartment without a jump spell, it's like you can't expect your Yetis to beat through the wall you want. They're most likely not going to. And so you have to plan to try and get them where you need them to be. Otherwise, you're going to be looking like you're in trouble. It's going to be in trouble. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and keep you updated with the Sway Esports and Double Barrel War. Their war is ever so slightly coming to a close. We've got about 2 attacks left from both sides here. We've got Double Barrel going in. Right now, they've got a 2-star on their 3rd attack. And this one doesn't look like it's going to be a 3, but it's really close. He has a lot of spells and a spare healer left alive. Didn't drop a healer, so that healer's going to come in late and help the RC. He might get this one here. It's really close, but again, time I think is going to be an issue. So he's going to end at a high percentage 2-star, but not going to get what Double Barrel needs here. And so far, Sway Esports are ahead on aggregate, which is going to pose for a few issues for his main army. You can't say he needed to use the Warden Walk. Yeah, if he was going to use the Warden Walk there, he needed to funnel a lot more. But here we go. We've got Canal from the Knight Riders going in. Let's see what he can do. We got the Drag Bats this time. Let's see what they can get done. Going to be starting with that King up at this top side with a couple of sneaky goblins to start setting the funnel. And I can kind of see why he's opted in to go with the dragons. We've got 3 Expos on ground. Not going to do anything to the dragons or the bats. And 2 Inferno Towers at the back end as well. Not going to do a whole lot to those bats with them both being on single there. And here we go. This Queen is going to step up from this top side here, going to clear an air defense and help with this funnel if she steps in here. She should step in. There we go. She's going to step in, take down that air defense, and here comes a couple of loons with the dragons. She's actually going to force herself a bit south here, or a bit to the left. Scatter Shot will take her down through the ability, which isn't ideal. but at the same time, he set the funnel for the dragons, and now they're going to be diving straight into this base. Now he has 4 free spells. He's going to need to use it on the scatter shot, or on this, I can't speak, on the sweeper here, and the Inferno and scatter shot combo, but he's being very patient, letting those dragons take it down. Interesting play there. That sweeper pushed his dragons twice there, but opted in to not use a free spell on it. Now those dragons are moving through here, and he's got a really nice setup going through so far. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw these bats come in from the top side over where that wizard tower is. All the dragons diving in. We have a Yeti blimp late going in to try and take down this Inferno. And we've got the RC up at this top side. We're going to bat bomb this Wiz tower, and that's a good call there. That's going to allow those bats to step up and help take down the defenses at the top side and then eventually move south. Really nice free spelled placement on that scatter shot there. He's going to need to freeze it again. Is he late? Just barely gets it on time. It was right before it was to shoot. A couple of OP loons coming in to tank. Could this be a triple? I think it is. What a hit from Knight Riders. Connell getting it done for him. That's exactly what they needed to see to stay in this war and get a bit ahead here. We had a follow over on Twitch. I cannot read the name because I am blind. We had Jury Gaming over on Twitch. Thank you so much for the follow over there. Is greatly appreciated. But this is going to be a triple with a swag RC ability. He's got a bunch of swag going in. And it looks like Mitch was not able to get it done for double barrel with a 96% 2-star. They've gotten really close, but a little unlucky on some of their hits. Right now it is tied on percentage. In this one, we've got Helga going in. Let's I'll go ahead and keep you updated with how that raid is going. But again, we're going to focus up on this war as the main part. You did the same attack, but with no Warden Walk, no Battle Blimp. Wall Wrecker helped move the troops inside the base. Yeah, the Wall Wrecker would have done a great job there, but it really does come down to it could have been a little bit more risky to try and grab that Town Hall out of the way. But that one raid, a little bit interesting. But the last one that went in, really nice identification of that base. Those Expos did nothing. And notice how everything kind of worked in tandem. He had the bats, he had the dragon, he had the Royal Champion. He had everything going in at the same time and getting the value. That was a very smart blimp. Jury flexing that orange emote there, probably unlocked with some of those channel points. Huge shout out to you. I've thought about removing that channel point feature where you can unlock an emote. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'll leave it. Because it's like, hey, if you want to use the emotes on stream, you should be able to do so if you drop a follow. You can flex some of those orange emotes out there. Got a bunch of them. Those are the emotes that we use whenever we do any kind of raid on any stream or whatnot, or as in the hype emote. I might even just add a little hype to that orange emote there. Thinking about it, I think it could be really, really cool. I don't know. All right, here we go. We got another live going in. Let's see if Corral Kings can end on a 3-star. They need to end on a 3-star, and they're going to need a 2-star defense to win this one, win this war. But let's see what we've got going. The Queen is going to step up here. Now she's going to go through and create a nice funnel for these dragons that will come in probably from this right side here. Look at all of the air defense on that right side of the base. It's a very interesting base design because it looks a lot more open than it actually is. Queen's going to step up, and she'll get a scatter as well if she doesn't die through the ability here. There's a chance she will, but she's just barely going to get the scatter. She doesn't. She's distracted on all the other buildings, and now he might even use the Royal Champion to get some good chain value here. He's going to use it at the top side. Maybe not the best placement of the RC, but let's see what he decides to do with it. The dragons might come in from this Inferno Tower here. He is going to burn that RC ability. Might get some chains on the scatter, and it does. Look at the RC ability. Oh, that's amazing. He got so many chains on both of those air defenses and the scatter shots here, and I think a nerf to air here will definitely be those air defenses getting another level. It would make the most sense here because that RC ability able to take them down in one shot. But he's moving through here with all the dragons. They're diving in. Really nice funnel already established for them, and he's got that blimp for the Town Hall. Now, where these bats will come in, I'm actually very curious. They might come in from this bottom side here where that single target Inferno is. This Warden is lagging behind the dragons at the moment, popping that Warden ability at a perfect time here, allowing for that battle blimp to kind of dive through the base. He's going to actually bat bomb this the scatter shot here and take it down. There goes the scatter shot to deal with the Town Hall bats working in tandem with the dragons here. This one is looking really, really solid. Bats diving through. He's going to freeze that Wiz Tower, freeze the Inferno Tower as the bats move through. But that Wiz Tower at the bottom side is going to take down a chunk of the bats, and that Inferno is going to stay alive. And now at this point, he's praying that his dragons can step up here and get this Inferno out of the way, because if they can't, he could be looking at a defense here. The Ice Golem just ever so slightly delayed, and you got to admit, there was a lot going on. He didn't have the time to switch back and really time that Ice Golem perfectly there. He should still get through this Inferno Tower here and possibly get this one done. Expo at the back end here, 3 Teslas rather at the back end as well, but he's got a bunch of dragons, but they are spread out. They're taking Seeking Air Mines. Can this Warden help get things done? It looks like this one's going to be ended very, very close, but it's not going to 3-star. Really, really nice try. It was a good effort. You got to give it to the attacker. I like the plan, but again, with all the chaos that was going on, it was hard to try and time the ice golem at the perfect time for the bats there. And this one will thin out at about an 88 to 89% 2-star. And again, really nice plan. Just a little bit off in the execution there, and he is going to end at 89%. Really nice try. And now it is up to Kerala or Knight Riders here. If they can get a 2-star, they win overall because they will have the stars. So they're going to be going for the safe 2 at minimum and going for the 3. Now let's see what they can do against the final attack here. Kerala Kings, they had the first war with that triple, but that 1-star costing them here. And so far their percentage game isn't super high as well. Knight Riders really not that far behind, and they're going to win on percentage. They're easily going to win on percentage here, and it is just going to come down to, can they get that extra star? They could 1-star. A 1-star 80% could win them this war, actually, and this overall match, which would be insane. And here we go. They got them going in. We got Dibbo ending the clan here, ending the raids for this matchup. Let's see what he's going to be bringing. He's looking at that queen charge into the hybrid. I think he hit this base earlier. This might be a different base. I'm not entirely sure. But we're going to see that queen step up here. And that same dark drill could pull her to the outside. We have seen this hit before. The dark drill pulled the queen to the outside, but this time should force her directly in where he needs her to go. They were running the same bases as the last war, which is not ideally what you want to do because, you know, it allows for the attackers to basically just hit it the exact same way and make the adjustments. Now, that super wall breaker not going to get the wall he wants here, but it is going to lure that clan castle out, which means that this queen will deal with it with absolutely no issues. Does have the siege barracks, which means that we've got no blimp for that town hall. So the hybrid is going to be the the hybrid is going to be the portion to clear that town hall out of the way. Let's see what he's got rocking. Queen's going to step up into that Inferno Tower there. That's going to burn through her there. And now he wants her to kind of force herself away from that single target Inferno and up towards the multi. And here comes the hybrid straight in. He's very spread out at the moment. Can that siege barracks kind of do a little bit more funneling for the hybrid to get them into that town hall? Again, a high percentage 1-star would still win them this war. Now that Warden there not doing a whole lot. That heal spell not affecting a whole lot either. He might have misplaced that heal spell just a little bit there. Everything wrapping slowly around that town hall, but he is going to secure the 2-star, which means that it is going to be the win for Knight Riders. Really nice job by them. They were able to step up and get that clutch 3-star with the bats here. And realistically, going into this raid, we knew something would have to go horribly wrong for this one to not go through. And he's still moving through at this point. That queen doing a lot of really nice work for him here. Healers are keeping her healthy. And now he's diving into the back end here, dealing with that scatter shot. World champion still at full health. Could this be a triple? This might actually still be a triple. They might have ended this war here with 12 stars, putting their aggregate score to 22. And Kerala Kings being at 20 stars in total. This is going to be a 3. Really nice stuff by Dibbo, getting it done for Kerala Kings. Really nice job. And that's going to secure them that 3-star victory. Really nice stuff. Now, just to update you on the Double Barrel and the Sway Esports war, Double Barrel are ahead in the war, but again, they are behind a star on aggregate at the moment. They're going to need to see a 3-star if they want to win. They were ahead on percentage. Double Barrel are ahead on both. They're ahead on percentage right now, 100%. It really is just going to come down to if they can get another 3-star, but it's not looking too good for them. If Sway Esports step up and get that 3-star, it's going to be over. We're going to go ahead and switch over to that war in just a moment. We know the result of this one. Knight Riders going to pull away the aggregate win. Huge shout out to them, and GG to Kerala Kings. Thank you so much for letting me pop over and stream. I'm going to go ahead and switch overlays really quickly here, just so that way I can switch over to the account I need to, so we can jump over to the other war and start commentating that one just a little bit. I hope to one day be able to dual stream some of these wars. Just hoping to possibly get a second device here and move into it. But here we go. We've got Sway Esports going in here. Let's go ahead and switch over to their overlay. There are the stats on the screen for you. We're starting with a Yeti Smash. Diving straight in. The setup is really nice. And we saw this base get hit earlier on the stream. I think we've seen this base get hit a couple of times. But everything diving in the blimp, not necessary for the Town Hall at all here. But it's still going to help and add that extra Yeti to the main army. That Lava Hound not doing a whole lot on defense here. Just kind of following all of the troops, not doing a lot. Doesn't have the bat spells this time, but can his troops kind of force their way through the base and secure a 3? Now, a 3-star here could possibly be the win. No, it will be the win for Sway Esports here. So if they 3-star this, There's a chance, but again, things are spreading out just a little bit. Got that single target up at this top side here, still standing. Might not get this one going through. What's up, Range, over on Twitch? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. But all right, this one is going to thin out here. We got that Warden stuck. Oh, no, the Warden isn't stuck on the Lava Hound. Huge shout out to the Warden. He's not shooting at it. The Lava Hound needs to not hit that King. Otherwise, the Warden's going to get locked onto it here. Warden's going to clear that mortar, but then he's going to get locked onto the Hound, right? No, the wall. Warden's not targeting the Hound. OP Warden AI. I surely thought I would have targeted the Hound, but this one is going to end at 58. Wow, there's not a whole lot of percentage from this attack. It's going to end around the low 60s. Not the most ideal attack strategy, but at the same time, let's see what we've got going. 41 seconds left in this raid. His King's going to be able to run through and grab a little bit of extra percentage here, but he's going to end at the around roughly 70% mark. Welcome back, Stickman. Hope you're doing well over on YouTube. And shout out, by the way, shout out to all the lurkers in the chat. You guys are the real MVPs, keeping that viewer count up and hyping up this stream for sure, because I'm here to just bring you some awesome Clash of Clans content. And I have a special place in my heart for the lurkers, you know, because I feel it. It's like most of the streams that I hop in, I want to hang out with the lurkers, you know, just kind of chill, enjoy the streams, do our thing. What happened to the second COC nerd? I miss him. Yeah, he was just helping cover the first war, but he had to jump over to do some Alpha League stuff. We're going to actually host over to him after this stream, so you guys can continue watching his stuff. Huge shout out to him. It was really nice and really fun bouncing off him, but that is going to be a it's going to be the end of the raid there, 69%, technically a 3-star. But let's go ahead and take a look at the aggregate score for this war. So far, it's looking like Sway Esports are going to end at that 11-star mark. Double Barrel need to hit a triple to win because they have the percentage, but in order to get ahead on stars, they need a triple. So it's all going to come down to the last attacker. Who's the last attacker? We've got Stemsu Pishu going in for Double Barrel. He has to 3-star for this to be a win, because not only will it be, it's not going to be tied on stars. Yeah, it's going to be tied on stars, but Double Barrel will come away with the percentage. Oh boy. You're here to bring COC content. I'm here to sleep while you stream. Hey, man, sounds good. You can do whatever you want while watching my streams, as long as you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out there. I know I'm doing something right. Again, they've got 3 minutes to go before they have to go in. But, hold on 1 second. But here we go. 3 minutes left to go. They got a lot of time to go in with this last attack. Let's see what they can get done. But yeah, huge shout out to Kerala Kings. Weren't able to pick up the win there, but it was a very, very nice war. Knight Riders able to pick up the win there. You've been losing a lot of hope doing Queen Charge, Lava Lunia. I'm really hoping I can do good this war. Hey, man, as long as, I mean, you don't have a max Queen yet at Town Hall 10, I don't think. Once you max your Queen, that Queen Charge Lava is going to get a lot easier. So just keep at it. I encourage you to keep going. What's up, Takino? How you doing? You are Navu. Welcome into the stream. Hope you're doing well, and congrats. Well, Navu, did you play in the, I think you played in the other war, right? Oh, yeah, I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. No, Navu is on Sway Esports. There we go. Now we're on the right screen there. I just realized it's the wrong league. It's not CWL Champions League. It is the WCL. It's the WCL League. There we go. Sorry about that. I just noticed that. There we go. But we've got a raid going in again. This has to triple from Double Barrel if they want to see a win here. We've got those 3 ice golems, going to be an issue, but it's a good thing that he's lured them out here, because they would be deadly to these Yeti raids, just slowing things down and allowing those Yetis to just get pounded over and over again and not get through the base here. But this Queen's going to step up and deal with those ice golems with absolutely no issues here. Going to drop in the Warden to actually help a little bit as well. And now he has a little bit of a nice funnel here for those Yetis that will eventually dive into the base. But I might switch to bowlers. Honestly, man, with the new friendly challenges things that are going to come out, you can just use your normal farming army and then practice your Queen Charge Lava Lunia in FCs. It's probably your best bet at getting better at it. But here we go. The Queen and the Warden going to do some nice work over at this right side here, set the funnel, and they're going to eventually dive in with the rest of the Yetis towards this Town Hall. Now, he has no bat spells, but does have the quad quakes that he's going to use to open up where that scatter shot compartment is. He's going to drop them right in front of this air sweeper There they go, right in between the air sweeper, actually. And that's going to do some damage to the scatter shots as well, allowing for all of the Yetis and the bowlers to dive straight in to this base here. Has the world champion in pocket. Might use that at this right side to take down that straggling Inferno. Everything moving through. Those healers have stepped up. This is looking pretty good. And as long as those Yetis can stay central, he could be looking at a 3-star here. Not a whole lot left on this base. Everything moving through here. He's relying on them to beat through this wall to get to that back end single target Inferno. World champion will deal with this multi. This is really, really close. It could come down to the wire here. Queen ability is still in hand, but we've got that single target Inferno left alive at the top side. World Champion's taking a lot of damage. She needs to clear through this cannon and this Archer Tower. She is going to clear through the cannon. Will she get the Archer Tower down? She does, just barely before going down. Queen is going to step up for the single. 43 seconds left to go. Can he clear through it here? Warden is still at full health on the defensive side. Going to pop that Queen ability to keep things moving. The time is going to be the issue. Yeti's beating to the outside here. Queen lost all of her archers there because of the bomb blast. And I'm afraid to say it, but I think this raid could be a 3-star, but the time is dwindling down. Oh no. I think Double Barrel are going to get just barely unlucky. 19 seconds left to go. I don't think this Queen has enough to get through those storages though. 2 full health storages at the back end here. 10 seconds. It is going to be a time fail. So unlucky from the Double Barrel side, and that means that it is going to be a win from the Sway Esports sides on stars here. Really nice try, but that is going to be a win. I think it's going to be a win for Double Barrel in this. No, it's not. Yeah, it is a win for Double Barrel in this war, but again, Sway Esports had that star advantage going into the second war, which means that they're able to step up and get the win. A huge shout out to all 4 of the clans for letting me stream this event. Shout out to the WCL media team who popped on here to cover this war with me. Clash with Styles doing a fantastic job. We bounced off each other. For the first war, he bounced over to the Clash Alpha League, which we're going to actually go ahead and host over to him. So that way we can go ahead and show some love to him and see what he's got going on. So I'm going to go ahead and get the raid going for him. Again, a huge shout out to both of the clans for letting me come stream these wars. It was a bunch of fun. But that is going to do it for me. We had a couple of subs from Clash with Styles. Thank you so much from him. We had a couple of new follows over on Twitch. We had a couple of subs over on YouTube as well. And we had a couple of people join in over on Trovo. Huge shout out to you guys over there. But that is going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys later. See ya.